right into the open arms of the Ruffer defender. Force from the pocket being chased by Watson. No, that time it's Vernon Pepe Akata. Parker Pellet was the first Ruffer to get there along with Tion Brewer. Snap through his legs. He'll have to turn around, pick it up. Oh, he got decked. Loose ball on the field. Ruffers pick it up. They'll run it in the end zone. Touchdown. Ficklin under center into the end zone for the touchdown. Goes the slant. Beasley with the catch. And the Ruffers have added yet 6 more. Ficklin in the pocket. Sets up. Wants to throw the underneath screen. Caught. 45, 40, 25, 20, 15, 10. Dion to the end zone. Put 6 on the board. Handed off, draggy tacklers all the way to the end zone. There's no stopping LJ.
Wow. He'll
go 50 yards up the heart, put 6 more on the scoreboard. Caught by Jamie Beasley. Good night, Jamie Beasley. 25-20. You can't catch Beasley. Fast as B. You can't catch me. He goes to the house. 72 yards for the touchdown strike. Ficklin the ball, keeps it himself. 30, 25, giving off inside. Johnson on a big hole. 15, 10, 5 to the end zone. Touchdown from 17 yards out for its second rushing touchdown of the night. Ficklin all night to look and then throw the ball downfield deep behind everybody. Rolling to his left. This was picked off. Ruffers with the INT to the end zone. Pick 6. Round out to LJ. He'll just do a nice little 2-step move and glide into the end zone for the touchdown. There's a little jet sweep pass. Ruffers get up the field, and can they contain it? Credit Anthony Watson for turning that back inside. Back pressure comes, a little bubble screen to Watson with a one-hand grab, 50, and man across the midfield stripe, still on his feet at the 40, out of a tackle to 30. Good, but that's just the bullish strength of Anthony Watson for 1st and goal to go. And then into the hands of the defensive back for the INT. Right at the line of scrimmage to make the stop, but good reaction that time of the Green Machine. Give it to Washington, darting out to the edge. Ruffers trying to get there to close it, and coming up out of the secondary, Dion Bowler. A scramble, Ruffers Parker Pellet had him in his grasp, and down he goes. Change of direction up the middle, 15, 20, 25, 30, across the 35. Caden McGee across midfield. He may take this one to the house. Big play McGee setting the stage. He takes it and goes 88 yards. Caden McGee with a kickoff return to put 6 points on the board. Ficklin will play action, throw it in space to Caden McGee. He's going to look to throw back to Bird, who's down the field behind. Now this is Latavian Johnson wide open at about the 10. Because the Ruffers that time were there ready and waiting. Bird's going to area it out downfield behind everybody's McGee at the 15. Caden at the 5. He'll be tripped up on a touchdown saving tackle. Ficklin's going to pull it. Dance to the edge. Got a block from Beasley. 50, 45 down the boundary. 45, 30. And he's going to take it inside the 20-yard line. Blockers in front. Operating the 35, the 30. Down on the boundary inside the 20. Ficklin's going to keep it. He'll dance past the tackler out on the edge to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Muskogee. Block. Ruffers get the block. They pick up the loose ball. Wade goes across the middle. Caught at the 37-yard line. Hey, let the lights flash. Let the horn sound. The Ruffers have added yet 6 more. It's picked off.
Yeah.
Ruffers pick it off. Big play for the Ruffer defense as the guy that gets there is Jayden Swanson for the INT. Handed off up the middle. Johnson threw a big old 50, 10, 5. Touchdown, Muskogee. Seeing the crease. Takes it to the end zone from 19 yards out. Touchdown, Muskogee. The leading tackler is Travion Houston. Job of plugging the hole that time by the defensive front. He has no place to go because there is a sea of green. Right into the open arms of the rougher defender. Forged from the pocket, being chased by Watson. No, that time it's Vernon Pepe Akata. Parker Pellet was the first rougher to get there, along with Tion Brewer. Snap through his legs. He'll have to turn around and pick it up. Oh, he got decked. Loose ball on the field. Ruffers pick it up. They'll run it in the end zone. Touchdown. Ficklin under center into the end zone for the touchdown. Goes the slant. Beasley with the catch. And the Ruffers have added yet 6 more. Ficklin in the pocket. Sets up. Wants to throw the underneath screen. Caught. 45, 40, 25, 20, 15, 10. Dion to the end zone. Put 6 on the board. Handed off, dragging tacklers all the way to the end zone. There's no stopping LJ.
Wow.
He'll go 50 yards up the heart, put 6 more on the scoreboard. Caught by Jamie Beasley. Good night, Jamie Beasley. 25-20. You can't catch Beasley. Fast as fast as me. You can't catch me. He goes to the house. 72 yards for the touchdown strike. Fick left the ball, keeps it himself. 30, 25. Give it off inside. Johnson on a big hole. 15, 10, 5 to the end zone. Touchdown from 17 yards out for his second rushing touchdown of the night. Ficklin all night to look and then throw the ball downfield deep behind everybody. Rolling to his left. This was picked off. Ruffers with the INT to the end zone. Pick 6. Round out to LJ. He'll just do a nice little 2-step move and glide into the end zone for the touchdown. There's a little jet sweep pass. Ruffers get up the field, and can they contain it? Credit Anthony Watson for turning that back inside. Big back pressure comes, a little bubble screen to Watson with a one-hand grab, 50. Ant-Man across the midfield stripe, still on his feet at the 40. Out of a tackle for 30. Good, but that's just the bullish strength of Anthony Watson for 1st and goal to go. And then into the hands of the defensive back for the INT. Right at the line of scrimmage to make the stop, but good reaction that time for the Green Machine. Give it to Washington, darting out to the edge. Ruffers trying to get there to close it, and coming up out of the secondary, Dion Bowler. A scramble, Ruffers, Parker Pellet had him in his grasp, and down he goes. Change the direction up the middle, 15, 20, 25, 30, across the 35. Caden McGee across midfield. He may take this one to the house. Big play McGee setting the stage. He takes it and goes 88 yards. Caden McGee with a kickoff return to put 6 points on the board. Ficklin will play action, throw it in space to Caden McGee. He's going to look to throw back to Bird, who's down the field behind. Now this is Latavian Johnson wide open at about the 10. Because the Ruffers that time were there ready and waiting. Bird's going to area it out downfield behind everybody's McGee at the 15. Caden at the 5. He'll be tripped up on a touchdown saving tackle. Ficklin's going to pull it. Dan to the edge. Got a block from Beasley. 50, 45 down the boundary. 45, 30. And he's going to take it inside the 20-yard line. Blockers in front. Operating the 35, the 30. Down on the boundary inside the 20. Ficklin's going to keep it. He'll dance past the tackler. Out on the edge to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Muskogee. Block. Ruffers get the block. They pick up the loose ball. Wait for the cross middle. Caught at the 37-yard line. Hey, let the lights flash. Let the horn sound. The Ruffers have added yet 6 more. For the 22nd time between these two schools, A berth in the state semifinals is at hand. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Ruffer Village, where tonight the Muskogee Ruffers will look to repeat the same decision as a year ago against the same team in the quarterfinals of the 6A2 football playoffs as Muskogee entertains the Wildcats of Ponca City High School. Bill Huddleston and my broadcast friend, Nick Hampton.
Ruffers are going to have to do a lot better than they did last year when they played this team. They had turnovers in the red zone. They sputtered. It was only 18-0 last year. Really, the defense was the key to the game as far as the Ruffers last year. They had 4 interceptions. So I'm sure that the coaches have talked a little bit about that to the kids this week, and said, hey, let's finish them in the red zone this year.
Indeed, that'll be the case as Muskogee will try to advance to the Final Four of the 6A2 football playoff picture. Several other games going on around the state. Of course, one game Ruffer fans will want to keep their eye on is the final outcome between Deer Creek at home tonight. The Antlers entertaining the Bruins of Bartlesville. The winner of that game meets the winner of this one. But at first, you have to win here on Friday night. When we come back after our first time out, we've got one of our highlight makers for 2023. He's known as Big Play, Caden McGee, who hopes tonight to join the 1K Club. That's for 1,000 yards and receiving on his very first catch. We'll be back to talk with Caden McGee after this opening 1-minute timeout. This is Ruffer Football 2023. Proud to be a Muskogee Ruffer, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, we're Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to hondamuskogee.com.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Our countdown to kickoff continues from Ruffer Village. Muskogee at home against Ponca City. And a guy that will be walking onto the turf for the final time as a senior in 2023. He wears number 8. He plays great. He is the big play, Caden McGee. Have you thought about it? This is the last time to go through the Ruffer Dog. It's the last time to run out on the field for that last time. But it's also a last chance to have a memory for a lifetime.
Oh, I think about what we've been thinking about it every day as a team, as a group of seniors. And we really want this. We want it bad. And we want to leave it all on our field one last time.
Kate, talk to me about this season, what this has meant to you. You're over the 1,000-yard mark in receiving, which is something that doesn't happen too often on a high school rank for anybody, much less yourself. What's been the success for this football in 2023?
Oh, I had goals. That was one of my goals coming into the year, break 1K in this equal season. And that's one of my goals I went to. And I think there's only one person that did it ahead of me. So to be a part of that 1K club with another former athlete of Muskogee, it's been great. And we want to make a statement this year, and that's what we're doing, I think.
Talk to me about the relationship between you and the other receivers. I know you've got a unique kinship with Bird. I mean, you two guys seem to be on the same eye contact, don't read each other's mind. What's the relationship between you and the other receivers in this package that seems to make this offense not just go with big plays and catches, but also be able to get downfield and be physical on blocks?
Right, no, I help him a lot, and they help me a lot. Like Andre, he's a good blocker, but you know what he does with the ball in his hands. And then behind him is Michael. Michael came in last game, stepped up a big time, so we needed that. And then on the left side, we have Cartrell, Jamie, and EJ. And Jamie and EJ have been playing the last couple games. They're young, but they're evolving good. They're going to be real special. And then Cartrell, he comes in for the deep threat. So I preach on them a lot, helped them a lot, but they get it down. We're a bond. Coach Buki definitely has us in the loop. So
now what is your favorite play when the sign is flashed in? What's the play that 8 wants to see called and then go and be great?
Probably the poster 86 just to go. Just give it to me.
Give it to you and go to the house, big man, even if it's on a kick return, whatever it is. Have a great time out there. It's the last time at Ruffer Village. Let's make it memorable for life.
Yes, sir, no doubt.
Caden McGee, our guest in our pregame countdown to kickoff, back with head coach Travis Hill. We continue to Ruffer football in 2023. Tradition, it's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Well, all the preparation is done. Now it's game time tonight here at Ruffer Village as Muskogee prepares to entertain the Wildcats of Ponca City. Head coach Travis Hill joins us in our countdown to kickoff, and it's ironic, Travis, that this scenario a year ago was the same two teams matching up here at Ruffer Village.
Absolutely. Last year we were 2 and they were 3, and we get it again. So, ironic's a good word. It's a funny feeling here on Friday night to be, like I said, same thing, same time, same place. But Bill, there is one difference. There's going to be about 40 degrees difference in the weather. That's a nice thing.
Indeed, it is to have temperatures in the 60s instead of the 20s.
Yep.
But as you look at the overall 6A2 playoff picture, the race for the gold ball is as open as it has ever been.
Yeah, as we all know, that Bigsby going out and moving up to 6A1 2 years ago opened it up. I think he had a very dominant Stillwater team last year from the word get-go, and I think people knew that, and they were still the favorite and obviously played out with a 13-0 record in the state championship. But this year, that's not the case. We got a lot of open windows there, open opportunities. So that's fun to be a part of that and know that you have a chance.
Let's talk about those other 3 matchups. We won't pick winners or losers.
Please.
We'll just talk about those matchups, and we'll start with Stillwater in their first round ball game against Putnam City Original.
Yep. Well, again, we're not going to pick anybody, but Stillwater is definitely the upper hand on that. You got a 1 seed versus a 4, or it's a 4 seed from the other district. So at Stillwater, obviously, all the dominant teams are the teams that earn it now are at home. So Stillwater and PCO, probably a good step that Stillwater takes care of that business pretty early.
But a game that I really kind of think could go either way. Bobby Klink's Sandites coming in as the number 3 team out of the East against the number 2 seed out of the West. And, of course, that's Choctaw, the team that eliminated the Roughers last season.
Absolutely. And like I said, so where do you play out on this one here? Well, Sand Springs is tough kids that play hard. Choctaw, very talented team, plays hard, been around the playoffs, been around the state championship, has not won it yet. But what I see is who's hot right now. And when you watch Sand Springs kind of have the end of the year and played last week in their playoff game against a well-traveled Lawton team that had to come very far, it's irrelevant. They took care of their business. So I think there's a very confident football team over at Sand Springs. And, obviously got the opportunity in our district meeting to talk with Coach Klink a little bit. They feel very good about it. So that'll be a very highly competitive football game. I believe you. I agree with you, Bill.
The other half of the bracket where the Roughers compete for a change to the championship will have Deer Creek at home as the champion out of the West, hosting a Bartlesville football team that the Roughers all know all too well.
Absolutely. Again, end of the year on a high note. We're referring to Bartlesville. Great game against us. We were able to pull that out at the last minute there at Bartlesville, and then come back next week and secure their spot against Tahlequah, and again played a very, very good first-round football game. 2 evenly matched teams in a lot of ways, and very similar teams the way they go about their business. It's weird when you watch them. Besides the light blue versus the dark blue, so to speak, in the Antlers over there at Deer Creek, being in the dark blue, and the Mighty Bruins in their baby blue. Very similar to how they approach offensively and defensively. So I think that's a great matchup again. And again, we're going to give the favorite probably the edge, but again, it would not surprise me one bit, as we mentioned with Sand Springs, to see an upset there with Bartlesville. Be good football game.
We're going to come back after a timeout. We're going to talk with Chris Reisenhuber about the Roughers' game plan for lighting up the scoreboard here at Ruffer Village. Then a word or two from Steve Craver to see if his defensive troops can pitch another shutout against Ponca City like they did a year ago. Then we'll come back and let Coach Travis Hill break it all down with the winning strategy. That after this opening 1-minute timeout. This is Ruffer Football 2023.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Welcome back on tonight's Countdown to Kickoff from Rufford Village. Pack the village, light up the scoreboard. The guy who's got the joystick in his hand is the offensive coordinator, Chris Reisenhofer. There's a little smile there, ready to light it up here tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's time to get back on track. You know, we've had a couple of last couple of outings where we left some points out there on the field and, felt good about the production of the offense. Just one way or another, we found a way to kind of keep it out of the end zone. So it's kind of time to get that bad taste out of our mouth and catch back on fire and, get in the playoffs. It's a do-or-die situation. So just looking forward to the night.
Chris, last year it was kind of the same scenario. Ruffers had 4 turnovers, I think, in that ball game and left points off the scoreboard, and the defense pitched the shutout. What things does Ponca City do defensively that create challenges?
Well coached. Their kids are all in the right spots, and they have a good feel for what they're trying to accomplish on defense. They were a very physical football team last year and really got after us and caused us some problems. The weather, it seems like it was a cold evening, and we ended up with some ball carriers out there wearing some sleeves that they weren't used to and had a couple of fumbles. I attribute to the sleeves, but it's just it is what it was, and there were some opportunities early in the game to kind of open it up and make some plays, but overall they just were a stingy group, and we didn't play as well as we were capable of last year. But this is two different groups, and I don't see the physicality that they brought last year on defense. Not to say that they're not a good defensive team. They're still in the right spots and stuff, but athleticism, I don't see what the same type of athletes that they put on the field last year. But I do expect us, to face some challenges from them.
Let's talk about what you're going to dial up offensively tonight. What plays seem to work best against this 3-man front of Ponca City, and where you feel like you can find that crease, find that avenue of opportunity, and make, whether it's a first down or a touchdown.
Well, it's all in. Variety of run plays that we run are all in. It's best if we can be a little more. Like I said last week, I didn't feel like we were real physical in pass protection. So, having the ability to run the football is big tonight. That will open up some stuff in the play action passing game off of it. And then we know if Bird's protected, we're gonna in our quality of receivers, we're gonna find some separation and some windows in the passing game. So just like to have it all available to us. Kids are ready to execute all and anything that I call. So just getting down to a particular thing, it would be hard to say, but I just expect us to execute and run our offense.
Comparing this game to 2 weeks ago, it's also nice to have that kid wearing the number 15 jersey, Andre Beasley, back in full gear.
Yeah, there's not too many Andre Beasleys running around the state, and we're just fortunate that we have that type of kid on our football team. And yeah, he was missed last week. Whether it would have made the difference in the ball game, I don't know, but I know he always provides us with 2 or 3 big time football plays in a game, and he's back healthy, ready to go, and look forward to what he shows up and brings tonight.
Well, the fans certainly are ready for it. I know the players are ready for it. How about the old ball coach? Are you ready to blow the whistle and kick it off?
Yeah, it's, like I said, do or die situation. You don't get it done, you go, you check it in, and this is not the group that needs to be checking it in. We feel like physically we can play with anybody in our division. I think our kids, throughout the course of the year, all the work they put in, there's really been one goal in mind. We wanted the district title, and obviously, I think Stillwater is another team that's capable of toting that gold ball at the end, and we really feel like we're the better football team when it comes to that. So, looking forward to us getting hot, like I said, playing to our potential, and being one of those teams that's left standing and playing for that gold ball at the end.
Offensive coordinator Chris Reitzenhofer with us in this segment. We're going to see if Steve Craver's got another magical game plan in which the Ruffers could post a second straight shutout against Ponca City in the second year in a row in the playoffs. That when we continue our countdown to kickoff on Ruffer Football 2023.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Runt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Runt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Welcome back to Ruffer Village. Tonight it is playoff atmosphere to the max. Muskogee and Ponca City for the second year in a row in the quarterfinal round of the 6A2 football playoffs. And last year, Steve Craver, whatever was on your defensive game plan worked to perfection, pitching a shutout. How can you repeat that effort tonight against a much different offensive unit in Ponca City?
Well, just keep it fundamentally sound. I feel like these last 2 weeks, we were blessed to have a bye week last year around this time before we played Ponca City. The same thing happened this year, so we were blessed to have that good fortune fall up on us. So we've been focusing on just the little things, the fundamentals of football, getting lined up, making sure that we can adjust to different formations because they show you different things. So fundamentally, if we can just stay sound there, I think that'll give us a good chance.
This is a much different offense, though, than what you saw here a year ago. Yes, Taymor was the quarterback, and maybe not as prolific or dominating type of run game, the Wildcats, but they've got two Wildcats out on the edge and two big, tall, wide receivers that can stretch the field and create problems. And with more in the backfield, lots of things can happen.
Absolutely. A quarterback has been a starter for 3 years straight. He's been a problem in each and every game that he's been a part of. It seemed like they constructed that offense around him. And so what they've done is they've had, some young guys at receiver last year that probably wasn't, used to playoff ball. It was really, really cold that game. But you can see the development that they have this year with those guys being on the outside, meaning number 4 and number 2, they're outside receivers. And so he tried to get those guys the ball. They'll throw it vertically, and he'll, create some – he's improv. He creates plays with his feet. And so when he does that, good things happen for Ponca City. We got to keep him bottled up and keep him in the pocket.
So you also have to think that tonight it's about the Ruffers setting the tone, being the much more physical, aggressive defensive team, in just snuffing out a candle or stomping on a burning ember that out there on the turf tonight. Being the more aggressive, you're not going to win in our house.
Absolutely, Bill. And you've been around football all your life. I've been around football all my life. This playoff football is going to be the most physical team that can go out there and set the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a big challenge to our defensive line to go out there and kind of establish that line of scrimmage, allow some of our playmakers to run around and make plays. And so if we can do that, if we can be successful with being the most physical team, not just this week, but any other weeks that we're blessed to play football, I think that'll prevail and give us a chance to win.
And just like in last year's ball game, it was the 4 turnovers the defense created that spelled the difference in victory and loss.
Absolutely, Bill. We also scored, too, so give credit to the defensive unit for putting 6 points on the board last year. We don't want that same type of result. We want to create some takeaways and get that ball back to our talented offense. We also want to make sure that we, like we talked about, being physical, and if we can get a touchdown here or there on the any type of points on the defense, I think that's extra. And so we're going to continue to focus on those things tonight and try to see where that comes at the end of the game.
Steve Craver with some defensive game plans, back with a winning strategy. Travis Hill back with us on our countdown to kickoff from Ruffer Village, Muskogee, and Ponca City. Quarterfinal round of the 6A2 football playoffs continues after this 1-minute timeout on Ruffer football in 2023.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Welcome back on Countdown to Kickoff. It is Fill the Village tonight here at Muskogee. Ruffers at home against Ponca City. And when it comes to the playoffs, Travis, as they said in The Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home.
No, you want that, and it's nice to have that advantage as we get into this time of the season, that third part of the year. And so we are here, Ruffer Village tonight, expecting a packed house, obviously on the home side, and a lot of support. So excited for it. I think our kids are excited for it.
We talked about the ironic situation with the two teams having met here a year ago. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of ugly moments in that ball game for the Ruffers, but you still came away after 4 turnovers with an 18-0 victory. What's your assessment of your opponent tonight? They have a new coach. They've got some new players, but some familiar guys, including the quarterback, Tay Moore, who you have to know where he is on every play.
Absolutely. Without giving our breakdown, which I'm assuming we're going to hear a little bit, but Trey Moore is important. He's number 3. He's their quarterback. Last year we was able to rattle him a little bit with the shutout that we was able to do, and so great job defensively last year. So that is definitely a kid. There is new faces, new team, new coach. He is an old Ponca City guy. He looks like he's got him rallied pretty good. He's their head wrestling coach. Played football there, wrestled there at Ponca City. So I think that he's got the support of not only the community, but obviously of the team too. So we expect a tough go with Ponca City again, as we did last year.
Winning strategy brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. Travis, it's as simple, I think, as the glasses on the top of your head right now. To figure this one out, it all comes down to the basics: blocking, tackling, and not committing any senseless penalties or turnovers.
Playing, it's real simple. We talked about the quarterback. We got to contain him. They also have 2 really good wide receivers. If we can contain those guys, we'll have success defensively. And I think the rest of it you said. I mean, if our offense does not play behind the chains, and does not make turnovers, we will score points. And I'm not being facetious when I say that. They were an excellent defensive football team last year. I think they're just a very average defensive football team this year. So, and I think we're pretty explosive offensively. So if we can do those things and not beat ourselves, not hurt ourselves, a lot of success tonight. And whenever you score a lot of points, separation can come. And that's what we're looking for. If we can get that done early, that's probably a key point.
I know part of the atmosphere of championship football here at Ruffer Village, the flashing of the green and white lights, the blowing of the horn. It's time to sound the horn, Travis. It's time to go play football, and it's time to win one and move on to the semifinals. Absolutely.
Bill, you got me excited. I'm excited. I may not sound at people, but I got to keep that level-headed right now. But don't get me wrong. Our kids are excited about it. They know what's at stake. And like I said, we expect to go out and play very, very good football tonight.
Back with more of our pregame countdown to kickoff. We'll go inside the training room and talk with Justin Laird about the health of the Ruffers for the first round of the playoffs for Muskogee. That after this 1-minute timeout on Ruffer Football 2023.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell him, Rick. Wow! New Silverado's 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverado's 1.9% financing.
Wow.
Now at J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Welcome back to Ruffer Village. Tonight, Muskogee and Ponca City, quarterfinal round of the 6A2 football playoffs. Health of the Ruffers couldn't be better. Health of the Ruffers brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy, and head athletic trainer Justin Laird joins us now. And the wear and tear on the body, both physically and mentally, is a challenge for today's athletes, especially when you're trying to go 13 and win a state title. But it's also just a big job for you and Leo to have to manage with these young men.
Oh, absolutely. It comes down to day-to-day of maintaining the body nutritionally, mentally, making sure they're hydrated, whether it's 30 degrees outside or 100 degrees outside. We make sure our kids are hydrated, ready to go mentally, physically. The body's starting to wear down. We have several with sprains and strains and bumps and bruises after 13 weeks that you get those. So we just try to maintain everything and keep them on the field.
Certainly nothing came better than the open date last week to give another 7 days of recovery. Part of that had to be you and Leo and the other coaches working through a couple of players through the concussion protocols. What care have you had to give in those instances to make sure that not only the kid seems to be right, but is right and 100% ready to go tonight?
Oh, absolutely. We go through concussion protocol if we have any kids that have concussions. There's a set base that we have, a protocol we have at Muskogee High School that kids have to go through after they've been released from their physician. It's on a day-to-day basis of their cognitive ability, their physical ability, and being able to maintain certain aspects of their training program that we run them through in about a week's period of the protocol from the national level.
And one other difference between this year and last year, although it's the same two teams playing here at Ruffer Village, you weren't here last year, Justin, but I can tell you it was freezing cold. It was below 20 degrees at kickoff, while tonight it should be in the 60s when we get things started. That makes things a lot better for not only the players and coaches, but also you and your training staff.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we prepare either way. I consider it shorts weather, whichever way it is. But, you know, you got to prepare also, you know, for the cold weather, whether they're wearing sleeves or whether they're not, you know, being 60-degree weather. It's a little chilly, but it's perfect football weather.
We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Justin will tell us if there is anybody on the injury list or the watch list. We continue our Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy on Ruffer Football in 2023. Proud to be a Muskogee Ruffer, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to HondaMuskogee.com.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember, ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Welcome back on Ruffer Football. Health of the Ruffers brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. And Justin Laird and Leo Grasky, the two of you guys have combined to do one heck of a job because I'm not seeing a single name on the cannot play list.
No, we've got all our players back for this week. Israel Martin's back from his broken hand. We had two other gentlemen that were on concussion protocol. They've completed all of that. They're back ready to play, and we're pretty much a clean slate.
Couldn't ask for a better doctor's report than to get that and be ready to go out here tonight and get the win.
Absolutely.
Justin Laird, Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Back with starting lineups, it's Muskogee and Ponca City trying to take the next step to winning the gold ball in 2023. That after this timeout, we're back in 1 minute on Ruffer Football 2023. Tradition, it's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
It's game day in Muskogee. There's nothing more beautiful than a Friday night with the lights on at Ruffer Village. Ruffer Village, home to our Muskogee Ruffers. A team whose name was earned by their rough style of play with more than 100 years of tradition and greatness behind this team. Right into the open arms of the Ruffer defender. No, that time it's Vernon Pepe Akata. Oh, snap through his legs. He'll have to turn around and pick it up. Oh, he got decked. Loose ball on the field. Ruffers pick it up. They'll run it in the end zone. Touchdown. The team is strapped up, taped up, and geared up for a gridiron battle. The fans had their faces painted, pom-pom shaking, friends giving high fives, and our families at our sides. Now is the time for the Ruffer Nation to kick off our 2023 state championship drive. No matter if you were born into the Ruffer Nation or this is your first time to wear the green and white, tonight will be unforgettable. So get on board. It's time to flash the lights and blow the horn. Because this Ruffer train is on track. Destination Edmond, Oklahoma. Hand it off up the middle. Johnson to a big old 50, 10, 5. Touchdown, Muskogee. Who will shine on this night? Will it be Anthony the Ant-Man Watson as he crushes wannabe tacklers? Will it be Jamarian the Bird Ficklin adding to his more than 2,900 total yards offense for the season? Bird's going to area it out downfield behind everybody's McGee at the 15. Caden at the 5. He'll be tripped up. Maybe, just maybe, we will once again see the magic. A big play, McGee. Change the direction up the middle, 15, 20, 25, 30, across the 35. Caden McGee across midfield. He may take this one to the house. Big play, McGee, setting the stage. Or will it be Andre the Beast Beasley, leaving us in awe as he breaks away for another turf-tearing touchdown? 25-20, Beasley with speed to the end zone. Touchdown, Muskogee. Dreams come true in the postseason, and it's time to answer the call. Will we bring home our 17th state championship? Will we match the greatness of Ruffer's past? Dance to the edge, got a block from Beasley. 50, 45 down the back. Will we raise the goal ball as we dance to the Ruffer shuffle? Will we gain the bragging rights to say we are Oklahoma's best? There's no stopping LJ. Wow. He'll go 50 yards up the heart, put 6 more on the scoreboard. Good night, Jamie Beasley, 25-20. You can't catch Beasley. He goes to the house. As the Ruffer regiment plays and the dance team sways to the beat and cheerleaders energize the crowd, it's showtime. It's highlights and touchdown time. It's time for the Ruffer Nation to turn out and turn up the crowd noise. Time to watch T.T. Houston add to his more than 100 solo tackles as Vernon Pepiakata smashes another quarterback in the backfield. Or Tim Moore and Deion Bowler steal away with another pick 6. The time is now, and the place is here. Live from Ruffer Village in Muskogee, Oklahoma. This is Ruffer Football. Welcome back to Ruffer Village. If you're not ready to go after that video hype, You need to be here in person to feel the atmosphere of this championship night, as one team will hang it up, one team will advance as the captains meet out at the center of the field. Tonight's a five-man officiating crew. Andy Turner will be the referee. He's the guy in the white hat. The umpire, Bobby Moore, the linesman, Mike Sexton, line judge, Scott McKinney, and the back judge, Darren Carpenter. Nick Hampton, with the Rougher Hype video and the excitement of this week and all the surroundings, and now the Roughers in these all black and white uniforms, this is what the spirit of high school football playoffs is all about.
Well, and the Roughers also have the advantage tonight of having had the week off, whereas Ponca City had to play last week. So Muskogee had the time to get themselves all together and healed, get Andre Beasley back this week, get Izzy Martin back, and so a lot of good things will happen for the Roughers that they didn't have against Stillwater.
So the coin toss at the field, the Roughers appear to have won the toss, and our referee, Andy Turner, will indicate that Muskogee has deferred the choice to the second half. That means Ponca City will have its option, and you would expect the PC squad to be ready to go on offense, and their quarterback with Taymor doing the direction of this offense that comes in averaging 275 yards per game. Pretty balanced offense, Nick Hampton. Both 139 on the ground and 136 through the air, most of that at the direction of Taymor.
Taymor played last year in this game, but he got hurt in the second quarter and didn't come back, so I'm sure this game means a little bit more to him this year to try and kind of get back again.
It is kind of ironic that these same two teams met in this very same game a year ago here at Ruffer Village. The best thing about this rematch, Nick, is the weather's about 40 to 45 degrees warmer tonight than it was this time a year ago.
It was a windy, cold night last year.
It was indeed. So let's take this time out. We'll return to Ruffer Village after this 2-minute timeout on Ruffer TV.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell him, Rick. Wow! New Silverados, 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverados, 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Well, all the hype, all the build-up to the state championship race begins for the Muskogee Ruffers tonight here at Ruffer Village. After a week off, the Ruffers at home here in their first playoff game against a team that has already had the first nerves, Nick, of the playoffs. Last week, Ponca City able to secure a overtime win over Putnam City West, 27-21, to advance to tonight's quarterfinal game.
So the Ruffers tonight will look to kind of put all the pieces together, kind of shake off the rust, and kind of the same game plan. The Ruffers are going to go on defense first, let Ponca see what they can do offensively. But once the Ruffers get the football, it's off to the races, get down there, get things done, and finish out this year unlike we did last year.
As we saw the coin toss a moment ago, Muskogee won the toss. They deferred their choice to the second half. So let's set the starting offense. First of all, for the Wildcats of Ponca City. Interim head coach Justin Rowland taking over 3 weeks ago after Scott Harmon was relieved of his duties. So we said this is the 22nd meeting between the two schools. Muskogee having won 13 of the previous matchups, including 10 of the last 11. The Ruffers are 3-0 in the playoffs against the Wildcats, including last year's 18-0 win, the 48-7 win in 2005, and then in the 1980 matchup, a 16-0 victory. And I remember that matchup in 2005, Nick. Ponca City was the highly favored team when Ron Lancaster's squad went to Ponca City and just totally hammered the Wildcats with a solid run game.
And the Ruffers have, like you say, dominated this series. Ponca City comes in with a very balanced team, as you said, running and passing. Taymor, the quarterback, and we'll see what they can do against this Ruffer defense that's had a week off to rest and heal.
Taking a look at the starting offensive 11 for the Wildcats, who come in with a record of 6-5. Across the front from tackle to tackle, Evan Pites, a 6', 260-pound senior, a returning starter from a year ago. Michael Hasseltine, 6'3", 240, a senior. Cooper Leonard, a returning starter from last year. He moved from guard to center this season at 5'11", 235. Blaze McGahey, a 5'10", 230-pound sophomore, and Darwin Foster, a 6'1", 255-pound senior. Nick, this offensive line isn't as big as most teams the Ruffers have faced.
They aren't, but they are experienced. I think 4 of the 5 are back from last year, so they have some experience, and they're not a big team. Let's see how they do against the Ruffer front defense, which struggled a little bit last time out against Stillwater.
Tight end will be a big, tall target, 6'5", 230-pound senior Cooper Rich, who has 13 receptions on the year. A.J. Landis will be one of the wide receiver core, a 5'10", 155-pound junior. Cole Runnels and Luke Beyer-Grossline will be in the receiving package. And then, of course, the guy that runs the offense is Taymor, the 6', 175-pound senior returning quarterback. Over 2,000 yards of offense last year. He's 1444 through the air, another 683 on the ground. He is a guy that can take it to the house if you don't lock the side gate.
He's a dual threat, and so the Ruffers will have to be aware of that as they put the pressure on defensively. Make sure they contain him. Don't let him get to the outside and scramble much.
Brody Wicker will be the featured tailback. He missed last year's playoffs due to an injury. And Gavin Cunningham will be the slot back. He is the go-to guy for Taymor. Here's the ready for the opening kick. Valente Espinosa has it on the tee. Ruffers in the all black and white. The high pooch kick. It's short. It's fielded on a fair catch by the Wildcats at the 30-yard line. That's where Pohai will go to work. Let's take a look at the starting defensive 11 for the Ruffers. Across the front, the guys that like to bring the muscle, Vernon Pepiakata, Tion Brewer, Anthony Watson, Parker Pellett. That four-man front, Nick, can be ever so impressive.
They can, and you got to think, I have watched Pepiakata this year. He's really come along and had a good year defensively for the Ruffers.
Coda Barnowski, Travion Houston, and Timmy Moore will be the 3 men in the linebacker spots. Moore out of the shotgun with a running back to his left. Takes the snap, hands it off, trying to dart to the right side is Donovan Harjo, the 6'2", 170-pound freshman. Only played 3 weeks so far, Nick, but here's a young freshman that has stepped into the limelight, and he picks up 5 on first down.
So they get a little bit of a hole there on the Ruffers' defense and exploit it for 5 yards. Ruffers will need to close that gap quickly.
Cornerbacks tonight, Martell Bolden and Jaden Swanson. On the safeties, Anthony White and Dion Bowler. Ruffer defense averaging giving up just 16 points per ball game in their first 10 outings of the year. Moore with the running back to his left. Wide out single receiver. Moore's going to keep it. He's going to be smothered behind the line of scrimmage. Ruffers that time were up there. Anthony Watson, Parker Pellett, and company were first to get there. Stopping Moore behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 32, a loss of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
That's more like it. And they didn't give the quarterback Moore anywhere to go that time. He optioned off to the tailback, kept it himself, tried to go between tackle and guard, and there was nothing there.
That's been a focus of the film study. Now the Wildcats will send a 4-receiver set to the wide side left. Moore out of the gun by himself, going to throw it out in the slot. On the catches of Cunningham. He's trapped behind the line of scrimmage. Getting upfield quickly for the Ruffers defensively. In a hurry to get there was Dion Bowler, the 5'9", 170-pound senior free safety, stopping Cunningham for a loss of 2. It'll be now 4th down and 10 after a 2nd and 5.
Cunningham, as you said, the go-to guy offensively as far as the passing game. He's got some D1 interest that people have been looking at, and Ruffers stop him there. Bowler with a nice job to read that play.
Cunningham, the senior, will be back to punt. Bowler will be standing at about the Ruffer 35. Here's the snap away. High end-over-end kick. Ruffers will just wave it off and get out of the way. It'll take a big high hop. Ponca City will let it roll around, and they'll touch it at the 38-yard line. That's where Muskogee will start, 1st and 10. 10:04 to play here in the opening quarter. Still no score. Ruffer football this season brought to you in part by Cornerstone Funeral Home, J. Hodge Chevrolet, Bravado Wireless, Pioneer Abstract, and by the home of the Tuesday night Muskogee Ruffer Coaches Show, Runts Barbecue.
Ruffers now work on the offense. Let's get out, get it done quickly. Show this Ponca City team that we mean business this evening.
That's going to be a lot handled by that big offensive line. We'll set that offensive line for you in a moment. Ruffers will use a little heavy package, hand it off on the first play, going straight ahead. Out across the 40 to about the 41-yard line.
Flags down on the play, though.
Ruffers may not have had everybody set. Not enough people on the line of scrimmage, so the outside receiver didn't get up on the line. That'll cost the Ruffers 5. That's not the way you want to start in the playoffs.
Play didn't go very far either. They handed it to Johnson, and he was smothered pretty quickly on the play.
So it'll be a 1st and 15 with Johnson this time to the left shoulder of Jamarian Ficklin. Caden McGee looking for his first catch. They'll throw it out in space through the hands caught by Andre Beasley, who didn't play a week ago. B's up. He got the 5 yards lost on the penalty, but it'll still be 2nd down and about 9 on a 6-yard pickup.
Trey Moore playing back there to the safety, making a tackle on the play for Ponca City.
Ruffers looking to move the ball in their first series from end to end. 2nd down and 9, opening quarter of action in this quarterfinal matchup of 6A2 football. Now a trio of receivers. Washington, along with others, throw the ball underneath, through the hands, and incomplete. Ruffers had 2 big guys out in front. Anthony Watson and Javon Washington were setting ready to block for Andre Beasley, but the pass a little too tall. It'll be a first 3rd down opportunity for Jamarian Ficklin to execute the Ruffer offense to move the chains.
So 3rd and 9, the Ruffers need to come up with a play here. You got to think pass. Get the ball in the hands of McGee, who's trying to break that 1,000-yard mark tonight, needs 19 yards to get there.
Jamie Beasley will replace Anthony Watson. Caden McGee, the aforementioned 1,000-yard club seeker, will be just inside the numbers, wide to the right. Back in the pocket goes Bird. Sets up, wants to look, dances around, throws upfield, scooping it, and he can't hold on to it. A diving effort by McGee right off the top of the turf. Unable to control it. It's incomplete. It's 4th down and 9.
So that's not really how the Ruffers wanted to start this offensive effort. A couple of errant passes there for Ficklin. He had a lot of time to throw that last pass, though, so that was good in terms of protection.
Bird will be back to do the kicking, and Tay Moore will be deep for the Wildcats. He'll stand around the 30-yard line to wait on Ficklin's punt. Back in good shape, 2 steps, launch it up high into the night sky. Moore will just get out of the way of it. It'll take a big Ruffer bounce inside the 5, rolling to the goal line. Ruffers will stop it short of the goal line. Will they call it a touchback?
I don't think so. I think he got it. Yeah, he got it inside the 1.
Now, did he throw the beanbag is all I'm looking for.
Pacing it out there.
Right short of the goal line. If that's where they mark it, it'll be inside the 1. That's going to be the case. What a punt by Jamarian Ficklin.
61 yards with the roll and everything.
And just at 61 yards and 11 inches, Nick, that ball is just upfield from the goal line. So Poe High will start deep in their own end of the field. They'll snap this one to the quarterback, who'll be about 4 yards off the line of scrimmage. Tay Moore, a 6 foot, 175-pound senior, a 3-year starter for Ponca City. A.J. Landis will be the wideout to the left side. Cunningham will be up top to the right. Moore 4 yards deep in his backfield. Takes the snap, just going to call his own number straight ahead, and he gets across the goal line and then got stymied in a hurry. Papiakata, along with Tion Brewer, making the connection, stopping the Ponca City quarterback for no gain. 2nd down and 10. Actually, they moved it up a little bit closer to the 1 yard line, Nick, from where it was a moment ago.
He was fortunate to get out of the end zone that time, as the Ruffers kind of had him bottled up, and he made a lunge just to get out of the end zone and get to the 1.
Interesting to see that Tay Moore goes to the sideline for the communication, and he comes back in on a sprint and shouts out the play call to his team rather than the signal calling. So out of the goal line, and behind the goal line, handing off to the running back, who's headed the backfield, stop behind the goal line. The Ruffers defense has put 2 on the board.
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to call him at the 1 or just
I don't know
inside
how
the
they
1.
could do that because he never got across the goal line, but that's going to be the call. That's a tough break for the Ruffer defense because it appeared that the Ruffers had stymied the running back. A loss of about a half yard if you can lose a yard there, Nick.
Yeah.
Call it no gain on back-to-back snaps, so it'll be 3rd down and 10.
I think the Ruffers, that kind of rookie dude there, it looked like they had him in the end zone easily.
Well, we might be just a tad biased. Moore back in with the play call. 2 wide receivers, actually 3, go to the far right, stacked up out to the left on a pair. Moore out of the shotgun. Looks, in some trouble, throws across the middle, caught by Donovan Harjo right about the 8. He'll fall forward to the 9. Speaking of 9, he's tackled by 9. Koda Barnowski at the 9-yard line.
But that'll bring up 4th down. Still need about 2 for the first down.
Ruffers have an injured player on the field as well, so they'll attend to the injured Ruffer. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout of return. 7:10 left in the opening quarter play from Ruffer Village. Still no score. Muskogee in Ponca City. Back after this 30-second break on Ruffer TV.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken. Where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue. 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue. Slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Injured player for the Ruffers able to sprint off the field under his own power. Travion Houston, this 5'9", 190-pound, muscled-up senior linebacker in the middle, who came into tonight's game with 127 tackles. 7 tackles for loss. And now the Wildcats will punt again from their own goal line. Kind of a shanked punt off the side of the foot. It angles and goes out of bounds. It'll go just across the 40-yard line, and that may be where they mark it at the 42. That's where Muskogee will start. So the 30, what is that, Nick?
About a 33-yard punt.
33-yard punt with no return, but Muskogee will get great field position starting at the Pohai 42-yard line. I'm not trying to be detrimental to Ponca City. It's just an old habit, hard for this guy to break. Jamarian Ficklin with a running back to his left brings Beasley in motion. They run the counter inside. Big hole for Johnson. 40, 35, still on his feet. Inside the 30, twisting out of a tackle. Carrying Wildcats to the 27-yard line goes Latavian Johnson.
Took about 8 Wildcats to bring him down finally. Up off the bottom of the pile for them was Xavion Parker, one of their defensive backs.
16-yard run for Latavian Johnson, a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer, first down and 10. 6:37 left to go in the opening 12 minutes tonight here from Ruffer Village. Ficklin this time up under center. A quick pitch back to Beasley. Blockers in front. Big hold at the 20. Down the sideline. 15, 10 to about the 8-yard line goes Andre Beasley. And the big hogs were out in front and they were grazing, looking for Wildcats. Down there was Vernon Pepiakata, along with Tion Brewer leading the way. Beasley goes from the 26 to the 8. Another 16-yard pickup, or an 18-yard pickup, and a Ruffer Kyle Edwards Buick GMC, first down and goal to go.
That's more like what we want to see out of the offense.
Power running game, back-to-back there. Johnson this time to the right of Ficklin. 2 receivers out wide to the left. Ficklin will hand off to Johnson, darting at the 5, through a crease, into the end zone. Touchdown, Muskogee. 3 plays, 42 yards. Put 6 on the board for the Ruffers tonight here at Ruffer Village.
Good start there after that first initial series. The Ruffers didn't get much of anything on a 3-and-out, but this time it doesn't take them very long. Get the short field and take advantage of it.
So Muskogee with its 42-yard scoring drive in just 3 plays. Val Espinosa on to try the point after touchdown. The ball down, the kick splits the uprights. It is good. 6:02 to go in the opening quarter. Flash the lights and honk the horn. Ruffers are out in front of Ponca City 7-0 when we return in 30 seconds on Ruffer TV.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Back at Ruffer Village, Muskogee taking advantage of great field position set up by the power of the Ruffer defense, forcing the Wildcats to punt from their own 80. Went out of bounds at the 42. 3 straight running plays, Johnson, Beasley, and then Latavian Johnson again, the final 8 yards for the score. Muskogee out in front 7-0 on the 3-play, 42-yard drive.
The other quarterfinal we're watching tonight, Deer Creek and Bartlesville. Deer Creek leading that game early, or with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Deer Creek.
Espinosa ready to kick off. See who will bring it back. Landis, one of the guys back deep. It'll be a deeper kick, going to be fielded back at around the 16. Come to the hash mark, cut back to the outside. This is Cunningham. Guy's got good quickness and good footwork, and he'll get out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So much better field position, Nick, for the Wildcats on their third possession. They started the first one from the 30, this last one from the 1. Now here, their third possession of the opening quarter from the 33.
Cunningham, as you said, good footwork, showed why he was being looked at by a number of schools as he returned that one about 16 yards or so after he made the catch.
Alonzo Big Goose, a sophomore, will be the running back off the left shoulder of Tay Moore. Tied in tight, no play action, give it off to Big Goose, trying to follow that offensive line. That is senior Layden kind of pushing the pile forward from the 33 to the 36. We'll call it a net pickup of 3, 2nd and 7.
Coming in on the tackle there for the Ruffers was Miguel Sanchez, who's in the game defensively. Kind of jumped on the back of Big Goose and rode him down.
Chavez is the big guy himself at 6'3" and 270 pounds, and that might be just a little bit on the light side. 5:24 in the clock running. Wildcats on a 2nd and 7 from their own 36-yard line. Landis will be the wide receiver out wide to the left. Cunningham up top to the left. Moore handing off again to Big Goose through a crease. He'll lean forward and fall up to about the 39-yard line. Before first to get there was Tion Brewer, the senior nose guard for the Ruffers, who came into tonight's contest with 44 stops on the year.
Gets another 3 yards up to the 39-yard line. Make it a third down now, still 4 to go for the Wildcats.
Wildcats are 0 for 2 so far on third down chances. Ponca City in the white jerseys, the gray pants, the blue numerals. Ruffers in the all black and white here tonight. Moore will work out of the shotgun with Big Goose to his left shoulder. Again, the split end is to the right, flankers to the left. Bootleg. Wanting to pass is Moore. He's under duress, looking to scamper free. Ruffers have it, strip the ball free. It's loose on the turf, and nobody could find it. Oh, the ball was ripped out of the hand of the quarterback, and just unable to see the ball bouncing around on the turf was the aforementioned Miguel Chavez. He had a chance to be a hero there, Nick, but just couldn't find the loose pigskin.
He saw it just about an instant too late. By the time Moore covered it up, Chavez was right there to pounce on it if it squirted away from him.
A loss of 3 on the play, so it'll be 4th down for Ponca City. And Gavin Cunningham, whose last punt covered 33 yards, will kick it away. Bowler standing back deep. This is a bullet over the head of Bowler. He'll just let it bounce. It'll check up and come back upfield. It'll be touched by Ponca City at about the 24-yard line. Nice kick that time.
40 yards on that punt. Much better by Cunningham.
So Muskogee will get it back for the 3rd time here in the quarter. 3:45 left to go. Opening 12 minutes. Ruffers in front, 7-0. Ruffer football brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. By Buffalo Wild Wings, who brings you our Ruffer Player of the Game award at the end of tonight's contest. By Excel Physical Therapy. And by our first down sponsor in 2023, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. 1st and 10 for Muskogee from the 24-yard line. Ficklin again with Johnson. Play action. Sets up, looking across the middle. McGee was open, but now the balls came tumbling down, and so does Ficklin go down behind the line of scrimmage back at the 11-yard line. Jeremy Payne on a twist stunt inside, getting into the face of the Ruffer quarterback. Bird will go down for a big loss. That's all the way back to the 12.
12-yard loss by Ficklin.
Also in on that tackle was Luke Beyer-Groschlein.
Who?
Beyer-Groschlein.
Okay.
I pronounced it
Very good.
3 different times before I came to the stadium tonight. Obviously, I should have done it a half dozen more. So a 2nd and long for the Ruffers. Ficklin out of the gun. Play action, straight drop back. Throw the bubble screen underneath. Ponca City blows this one up. Wildcats just got right in the face. They guessed the right play, and they stopped the Ruffers behind the line of scrimmage. Catch was made by Beasley, but he goes down at the 10, so there'll be a loss of 2 more.
And it's your guy who made the tackle there.
It is. It is the aforementioned Luke Beyer-Groschlein. The more times you say that, the more fluid it becomes. I hope I don't have to say it again. Also out on that big defensive front is Omari Orr, a sophomore. Kind of looks like the Orr from Blindside, doesn't he, by size? Ficklin out of the gun. Straight drop back, sets up, throws the underneath screen. Wildcats were ready and waiting for it, and they smothered the Ruffers again for another loss of a yard.
Well, the little short passing game's going nowhere for the Ruffers tonight. Ponca City's done their homework.
They have done their film study, and the Ruffers will now have to punt on a 4th and long as the ball will be placed at the 10. So no gain on that play, but it'll be now 4th down and 24 as the Ruffers needed to go to the 34. Ficklin will stand about a yard deep in the end zone to wait the snap. Back in good shape. Ficklin 2 steps, and he puts it up high and tight spiral. Fielded by Taymor right about the 49-yard line in Ponca City territory with 1:43 to go here in the opening 12.
41-yard punt by Bird. And the Wildcats get pretty good field position. Not a short field, but just halfway to go now.
Nick, I can tell you that this last week my yard has turned from green grass to a sea of leaves. That's why you need to call the people I'm going to call. That's Zapata Lawn and Tree Service. They can come clean up your yard, have it ready for the Thanksgiving holidays. Don't forget they can put up your Christmas lights as well. Check them out on Facebook, Zapata Lawn and Tree. Wildcats now shifting the tight end in the slot over to the right side. Moore just on a quarterback keeper. He's in some trouble. He's wrapped up, slammed to the ground, back upfield. This time it is Tim Moore, the junior weak side linebacker, in for the tackle for the loss. Back upfield at the 44, a loss of 5.
Tim Moore coming into the game, one of the leading tacklers, 121 tackles, and now 10 tackles for loss on the season.
Well, he read that one perfectly, done his film study as well, and knew exactly that Tay Moore was going to be the go-to guy. 1:15 the clock running here in quarter number 1. Ruffers leading at 7-0. Wildcats wanted to slow down the pace of the ball game, extend their positions, keep the Ruffer offense off the field. Now Landis will become the slot out wide to the right. Moore will take the high snap. He'll hand it off in traffic to Big Goose, but there's a flag down on play, and I don't think the Wildcats had enough people on the line of scrimmage, or somebody obviously was moving forward.
Yeah, that's going to be some kind of a procedure call against the Wildcats.
Ruffers stopped it after a 1-yard gain, so it would be 3rd and 14, and Muskogee will decline the penalty.
Illegal motion, offense, got penalties declined, 3rd down.
Big Goose was in a big hurry, Nick. He was coming forward a half step prior to the snap. So a gain of 1 to the 45. It'll be 3rd down and 14. Clock running with 55 seconds to go here in quarter number 1.
Wildcats taking their time, kind of getting this play, getting up to the line of scrimmage.
Clock running with 43, now 42 seconds. Motion across the formation. Moore claps his hands, looks to throw underneath, upfield, has a receiver targeted on a diving effort. Actually had 2 receivers in the same area. Landis, along with Cole Runnels, went off both of their fingertips, and it falls incomplete. 4th down for Ponca City.
And Mr. Moore got to introduce himself to the Ant-Man, Mr. Watson, on that play. Was right in his face as Watson just about got a hand on there and blocked it.
So Gavin Cunningham will be on board to punt once again. His last one covering a 40-yard effort. Bowler standing back around the 20. High snap. Cunningham with a left leg puts it up high in the sky. Dion's just going to run away from it. It'll check up, take a good big Ponca City bounce. Rolling to a sideward hop at about the 11-yard line, and that's where Muskogee will get it back with 25 seconds left here in quarter number 1. When you need insurance, you need my friend. You need Nick Hampton's friend. You need your friend, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. David Cobb. He can handle all your insurance needs, whether it's for your home, your business, your life, whatever your insurance questions might be. He's got all the answers. Pick up the phone and call David Cobb, State Farm Insurance, 918-682-2511.
Let's see what the Ruffers do now. The passing game didn't work on the last series. Let's see if they'll go back to the run here.
Ficklin this time will hand off to Johnson. Throw a huge hold out across the 10, up across the 15, and out to the 16-yard line on the forward progress. So a 5-yard pickup on first down. The clock will more than likely expire the opening 12 minutes tonight here from Ruffer Village. Ruffer's just going to let this one count down. Nick got 4 seconds, 3, and everybody kind of looking around. Bird's going to walk over and talk with Chris Reisenhover while we take a timeout. 12 minutes in the books. Ruffers 3/4 away from stepping forward into the semifinals next week against either Deer Creek or Bartlesville. But take care of business first here tonight with a 7-0 lead over Ponca City. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer TV.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and the Ruffer TV crew tonight from Ruffer Village. Pretty good crowd filling the home stands. Those of you unable to make it, glad you're aboard here on Ruffer TV or listening over Okie Country 1017 KTFX. Nick Hampton, scoreboard update on the game we're watching with interest.
And Deer Creek now has increased their lead 14-0 over Bartlesville. Other 6A2 games tonight, Choctaw leading Sand Springs 8-0 late in the first quarter of that one.
1st and 10 from the Ruffers, starting from the 16-yard line as we begin, or actually it's 1st and 5. Ficklin will hand off Johnson, 20, 25, into open territory to the 35, 40. Stutter steps and comes up the boundary. He's pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Yeah, honk that horn. Ruffers kind of play action now. There is a flag on the play.
Flag's down around the 16.
See if this one will come back.
Apparently so, because Travis Hill's taking the headphones off and looks disgusted. And it's a holding call against the Ruffers.
Flag was thrown at about the 16-yard line, which was the line of scrimmage. So that'll back it up. 11:53. We've just started the second quarter play. It was 2nd and 5.
Penalty half the distance, moves it back to the 8. And that'll be 2nd and 13 for the Ruffers.
Ponca City's defense trying to keep its offense in the game. That front has done a good job. Hayden LeClaire, a 6', 250-pound junior, now in at one of the defensive line spots. Ficklin will put Beasley in motion. They'll hand it off to Andre, trying to turn the corner, and flags fly. Procedure on the Ruffers. Mental mistakes, Nick, can hurt a very good football team. Back-to-back penalties.
Third penalty of the game against the Ruffers.
That'll take it from the 8 to the 4. So the Ruffers, after having a 2nd and 5, now have it 2nd and 17.
Right.
Just 4 yards up from their own goal line.
And now the Ruffers may have to resort to that passing game to get the ball moved back down the field.
Washington and Beasley are to the left, to the short side of the field. Andre comes in motion. They'll counter, hand it off to a huge hole. Johnson again lowers his head, crashes into a Ponca City defender at about the 10, falling forward to the 11. Jeremy Payne, the 175-pound junior, one of the first Wildcats to get there. 5-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and still 10 yards needed for the Ruffers.
Up to the 11. So now, as Bill said, 3rd and 10 right at the 11s, which is where this series started.
Now the Ruffers will put Andre Beasley in the slot to the short side left. Bees will go in motion. They'll run the jet sweep to Beasley with blockers in front, trying to turn the corner. Leaps over a tackler at the 10 and then jettisons his way up to about the 16, but that'll be well short of the line to gain, which was the 21.
So the penalties come back to hurt the Ruffers as they can't make up the yardage, and they'll have to punt it away.
Punting unit will be back in. Jamarian Ficklin to kick again. This will be his 3rd punt of the night. needing to flip the field here with one of those bullets. This time back deep to return for Ponca City will be Xavier Parker, the 5'9", 160-pound junior. .10:34 in the clock running here in the second quarter. Low snap. Ficklin catches it at his knee. He's going to drive this one up the field. It'll take a Muskogee bounce, rolling across the 50 and then laterally to the 45 where they'll touch it.
41-yard punt by Bird.
Ponca City will take over again with 10:21 to play before halftime. Ruffers leading it 7-0. When you're looking for a new place to reside, Nick, have you thought about maybe selling your own real estate? Whenever you've got real estate questions or needs, whether it's a new home or selling your home, you want to count on the team at First Choice Realty. Century 21, Monica Medley is the broker. They can take care of all your questions and all your needs in one easy phone call. Give them a look and check them out online on Facebook. Century 21, First Choice Realty, a partner to Ruffer Football.
Ruffer defense has done a good job so far. Not a first down in the game yet for Ponca City.
Empty backfield for Tay Moore. He'll just quarterback keeper. They'll pull the guard and lead, and the Ruffers will stop it at the line of scrimmage.
Travion Houston just put a shoulder into him, didn't he?
He is not the biggest guy, Nick. When you see him in the locker room, you think, this guy is your middle linebacker monster? Well, he is a monster. A 5'9", 190-pound, rock-solid senior with a stop. Going to forward this one forward for a 1-yard gain. That might be a generous spot.
It really was, yeah. That's what I thought, too. Ruffers, Ponca City now, this is their 5th possession, and they have yet to get a first down. 3 and outs on every possession so far.
Gavin Cunningham bringing the play in from the sideline, exchanges the signals with Tay Moore. Running back to the left shoulder of Moore. They'll hand it off in traffic. There's not a lot, but they're just going to rugby scrum it and push the pile and push the pile and push the pile forward.
Push, I guess.
All the way to the 47-yard line. So that's a 7-yard gain on just that rugby-type scrum. And it'll be 4th down and 2 for Ponca City, trying to gain their initial 1st and 10 of the night. 9:17 and the clock moving here in quarter number 2. 7-0 Ruffers. As A.J. Landis will, after a sideline visit, come in and give the play to Tay Moore. The offense will hustle to the line of scrimmage. That's a very well experienced offensive line. Ruffers crowding the line of scrimmage. Moore hands it off. This is Donovan Harjo. He's going to be stopped well beyond the line to gain. Actually back at about the 46.5.
They may give him maybe a yard on the play, but they're still going to be short of the first down.
Vernon Pepiakada, 6'1", 293-pound senior, stopping that one after they'll mark it for a 1-yard gain. So it'll be 4th and 1. A roll of the dice here, Nick, for the interim head coach.
I think so. Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Justin Rowland's going to roll the dice here on a 4th and a yard to go. Alonzo Big Goose, the running back, the quarterback out of the shotgun. Hard count. Quarterback's going to keep it, trying to find an angle. He'll slide between two tacklers, fumble the ball, but I think they're going to rule him down. No, now they're going to signal Ruffer football. Quarterback trying to stick it out and gain an extra yard. The ball came free. I don't know which Ruffer got it.
I think it was Houston, maybe.
But the ball recovered on the fumble by Tabor at the 44-yard line.
I think Caleb Houston was the guy who came up with that for the Ruffers.
Caleb Houston? Big play. 6'2", 300-pound senior defensive tackle. So the Ruffers will start from their own 44-yard line now with 8:05 to go before halftime, looking to turn this turnover into 6 points. Ficklin will go under center. He'll hand it off to Beasley. Waits on the corner, ducked inside, 45, and up to about the 48-yard line as the Ruffers run it power to the short side left. The gain will be 4 from the 44 to the 48-yard line before the Wildcats are able to make the tackle. Hudson Haas is the way it's pronounced. I was told, just think of Ben, Little Joe, and Haas from the Cartwright family in Bonanza.
Braden Henry lost his helmet on that, so he has to come out, and Hunter Lanier fills in at center.
2nd and 6. Ficklin this time out of the gun. Straight drop back. Pressure on the bubble screen. Throw it back to McGee. Has the catch. Looking to go to the 1K club at the 50, 45. Off a tackle at the 45-yard line all the way down to the 41-yard line. Welcome to the 1K club. single season 1,000 yards receiving. Kate McGee on the grab, going from the 48 on one end to the 41 on the other. That's an 11-yard gain. Welcome to 1K and a rougher. Kyle Edwards Buick GMC, first down and 10. Ficklin this time going to hand it off to Johnson, trying to come left. Wildcats shut the door, and LJ will just do the best he can. He's going to lose yardage back upfield to the 43. It's a pretty unique club to be in, 1,000 yards receiving. Which perhaps two of the best ever to do that. Deontay Crutchfield back in the 2017 campaign and unable to find single-season statistics for other players that go all the way back, but there's certainly been a lot of those, Nick.
There have over the years. Yep.
So 2nd and 12 from the 43. Ficklin back in the pocket, protection, steps up, now comes to his left, throws a dart upfield. At the last minute trying to throw it in the general direction of E.J. James with a pass behind him and off the turf, incomplete. 2nd down and make it 3rd down now and 12.
So again, looking at a passing situation here for the Roughers. The little short passes have not been very successful as Ponca City has really done their homework and defends those well.
Dion Bowler in as a running back this time. Ficklin again takes the snap, sets up. Ficklin on an out route, caught by McGee over on the sideline, right at the line to gain, stepping out of bounds at the 30. Ruffers needed 12. He got 13. Another Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Ruffer first down and 10. Thinking about 1,000-yard receivers, Deontay Crutchfield, one of those, and I'm certain if we had numbers for Jameel Owens, who was a standout for Ron Lancaster's squads, he might be in there too, along with Matt Hennessy's team.
Yep.
At the 30-yard line, Ruffers on the first down. They'll run the counter option, give it off to Boulder, darting right, inside a tackle at the 30 to 25, puts his hand on the turf for balance, still refusing to go to the turf. He'll go all the way to the 19-yard line. From the 30 to the 19, another 11-yard pickup by the Ruffers on the ground, and another Kyle Edwards Buick GMC, first down and 10.
Ruffers now with about 60 yards on the ground so far here in the quarter plus.
Clock running with 5:48 and counting, trying to add to a 7-0 advantage. Play call signaled in as personnel's change. McGee will be out on the far right by himself outside the numbers. Ficklin will set the running back Bowler. He'll hand it off to Dion, trying to come off a sweep on a block from Harvey. At the 20, at the 15, he'll tumble downfield to about the 14-yard line. Big Wes Harvey out in front, creating just a gap, and able to run the football to the 15-yard line is Dion Bowler.
Nice balance there by Bowler as he went down to one hand to maintain balance and get a couple of extra yards. Gets 4 total on the play.
2nd and 6 as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the first half. Move the receiver over from right to left to set up the short side opportunity. Hard count by Ficklin, and ready to tee off and come in a hurry was the defensive lineman, the defensive end, Avon Hobbs. He jumps into the neutral zone. That'll be a 5-yard encroachment penalty against the Wildcats. That'll move it downfield to the 10. Ruffers will need just a yard to go to move the sticks.
First flag of the night against the Wildcats, or at least the first one accepted.
Ruffers again, personnel changing each and every play. Kenyon Goodson in now. He'll be a part of that receiver package.
And that big guy comes in again for Ponca City.
He is
Mr.
big.
Orr, right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Ruffers will go with the extra running and blocking back. Ficklin up under center. Snap goes to Kenyon Goodson at the 10, the 5. They part the Red Sea, or I should say the Green Sea, and it is the sophomore, Kenyon Goodson on the Wildcat, taking it to the end zone. Touchdown, Muskogee.
10-yard touchdown run. We don't see Kenyon carry the ball that much, but he did there and gets the touchdown.
Ruffers go 56 yards for the score on 7 plays to take the 2-touchdown advantage with 4:28 to go before halftime. Val Espinosa, who on the year is 27 of 29, and now penalties flagged, and the Ruffers, I think, will get called for procedure. But Espinosa, a senior, not a big guy, Nick, 5'7", 125, but a very confident and very calm, quiet young man. 28 of 30 so far on the year, counting this one here tonight, and he's trying to make it number 29 with this attempt.
So he'll have to move it back and kick it now from the 15.
4 minutes and 28 seconds left to go before halftime. Ruffers with a 2-touchdown advantage. The snap is down. Espinosa hammers the kick through the right side upright. And there's timeout on the field. Flashing the lights, honking the horn. Ruffers add 6 more. Actually 7. It's 14-0 Muskogee. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2023.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Welcome back to Ruffer Village. Ruffers using 7 plays to go the 56 yards in a little more than 3.5 minutes to take a 2-touchdown advantage, 14-0.
Looking at some of the 4A playoffs, we have several area teams involved there. Blanchard leading Salisaw 14-7 in the first quarter. Wagner leading Tuttle 7-0. That game now in the second quarter. And Poto and Newcastle playing tough, 14-12. Pirates lead by 2 in that one.
So now after the touchdown, Espinosa will put it on the tee. Short, high pooch kick toward the boundary. Caught by Landis. He'll come up the middle of the field across the 30 and stretch for an extra yard. He'll get credit to the 32-yard line. And now with 4:21 to go before halftime, Ponca City, Nick, do they have to go more to the pass?
Just about to the point because they haven't been able to do anything running the ball. This is their 6th possession. They have yet to get a first down in the game. 3 and outs on all of their possessions so far. They've only passed 3 times in the game for 6 yards, so they may have to look at trying to get to the air a little more.
If you don't have any plans for dinner tomorrow night, you might call one of your friends, like maybe me. Let's go out west to My Place Barbecue West. Great tasting barbecue and a great place, great service anytime you go to My Place Barbecue West, a friend of Ruffer Football. On the counter, this is Tamor with the football. Darts across the 35, got hit at about the 40 and knocked to the turf. Koda Barnowski making the stop, but the gain will be 9 for Tamor. And speaking of My Place Barbecue West, Nick Hampton, you were the guy that invited me to make my first ever visit to Muskogee for employment. And if my recollection is correct, and I know I'm right on this one, you took me to My Place.
Sure, that's true, yes.
And I had the My Place Barbecue plate, which is still one of the featured choices on the menu.
Second short that's the best play of the night so far for Ponca City.
Hard count this time. The Ruffers maybe a little bit too energized, and hopping into that neutral zone with a friendly shove was Tion Brewer.
5th penalty for 29 yards now on the Ruffers.
That gives the 1st and 10 for Ponca City at the 46-yard line, and our producer Matty says, which one of those barbecue plate? Well, it was the chopped. It was the traditional barbecue plate, I can tell you, with fries and beans and toast and a big old glass of sweet tea. 1st and 10, Ponca City on the counter. Moore's going to keep it. He'll slide off a first contact and sprint across midfield, where he finally goes to the turf. Caden Harkin, the sophomore linebacker, in on the stop. The gain will go from the 46 in Wildcat territory to the 48 on the opposite end. 6-yard pickup on first down.
So Moore now suddenly has found a little way to find some room. Runs of 9 and 6 yards for him now in the last 2 carries.
A.J. Landis will be the wide out outside the numbers to the far left. Cunningham, the tight end, tucked in tight to the right. Moore with a lot of head counts trying to draw the Ruffers into that encroachment area. Quarterback this time will hand off, and the Ruffers have got an arm embrace and down around the single leg takedown is Tim Moore.
He had him down there, and he looked like a wrestler, didn't he? Just grabbed that leg and wouldn't let go, and then got some help from Brewer and some of the guys up front.
Tion stood him up and shooting low for the 2-legged takedown back at the 49-yard line. A loss of a yard. 3rd down for Ponca City. They've got to go to the 44, so it'll be 3rd and 5. Alonzo Big Goose, sophomore. The running back to the left this time of Tamor. Motion across the formation. That is Cooper Rich. The counter. Moore will keep it off the first contact. Second, third effort. Got to the edge. 45, 40, and then stepping out of bounds right about the 37-yard line. That's just sheer determination and willpower by the 3-year starting quarterback for the Wildcats, Tay Moore, to get the first down at the Ruffer 36-yard line.
And not very good tackling by the Ruffers along the way, as they had 3 or 4 shots at him there and didn't get him down, and then he got to the corner.
13 yards on that quarterback run. Ponca City with their second first down in this series. Officials trying to get the game clock stopped. They'll mark it ready for play. And Moore out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Wants to hand it off in traffic. This is Big Goose through a crease. He fumbled the football, but then was able to see it upfield to the 30-yard line. Another 6-yard pickup, working it off the right side of that defensive front. Offensive line doing a really good job up front. Pites, Hasseltine, Leonard, McGahey, and Foster.
They found some kind of a weakness or made some correction somewhere now to get the running game ginning after the first 5 possessions it went nowhere.
Gavin Cunningham will be the single receiver out on the numbers to the wide side right. Cooper Rich in motion. He'll line up tight. They'll hand it off to Big Goose. He'll slam straight ahead. Ruffers coming off the edge. Parker Pellet, one of those Ruffer defenders, was in on the collision. 2-yard pickup. Also some help from Tion Brewer. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 for Ponca City. Ball just downfield from the 33, about halfway between the 33 and 32, the 28 and the 27.
Clock inside, a minute to play here in the first half.
Wildcats on a 3rd and short. Moore takes the snap, gives it to Big Goose, has the first down and change as he'll move the forward progress to the 24.
And the Wildcats, I think, are going to call a timeout here to stop the clock.
Ball at the 24-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Ponca City with 33 seconds left. You know, it's interesting to see how the other boss at my house, not me.
There's only one boss in your house.
You're exactly right.
Okay, just
always wanted to do something outside. We've got this fire pit because wouldn't it be nice to have one of those canopies over the top, or something just to create a little bit more of a outdoor atmosphere? Well, that's when you need to go online and check out all the available options, whether it's for a deck or whether you want a canopy, something outside to kind of dress up the outdoors during the wintertime, protect you from the elements. Go online and ask and see for yourself what Outdoor Renovations LLC can do for you. Check them out on Facebook. There's lots of choices for you to pick from. There's a better price and a better job waiting for you. Contact them today, Outdoor Renovations LLC.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 24 with just 33 seconds left here to play in the halftime, and Ponca City now with 2 timeouts left.
Wildcats haven't gone to Cunningham all night long. Ruffers kind of jumping around on that defensive front. Moore pulls the pocket, pumps once, got hammered as he throws. Cunningham's in the end zone. The ball is there. The ball is free. Incomplete. Cunningham didn't hold it to the turf.
Good defense by Swanson on the play, too.
Boy, I'm telling you, I'm not sure. I thought Cunningham had it in his possession, but I'm going to tell you, Tay Moore took he's a Timex watch, Nick. He took a licking, but keeps on ticking after that collision on the release with the incomplete pass. Big break for the Ruffers there.
Swanson did a good job of staying with that and wrestling it away from Cunningham there at the back end of the end zone.
25 seconds left as the clock stops on the incomplete pass. Runnels and Landis will be the twins to the short side left. Again, Cunningham out beyond the hash mark, along with Cooper Rich. Moore running to his right, wants to throw across the middle, has a receiver at the 10, caught at that spot. Ball pops free in the scrum for it, but they'll mark this one dead. Ruffers ripped it away, but Runnels was on the turf at the 8-yard line. So it'll be a 16-yard pickup. It'll be 1st and goal to go for Ponca City.
Clocks ran down to 10 there after they stopped, so let's see if they'll put some time back on it again. Ponca calls timeout. 18 seconds
yeah,
is what they're going to.
That's kind of what I thought. They'll reset it to 18 seconds. Ponca City started this drive at their own 32 with some running of Tay Moore and Alonzo Big Goose. And then that last play on a pass catch by Cole Reynolds. The Wildcats have it at the rougher 9-yard line, but time running out with just 18 seconds to go to halftime.
Still have one timeout left, so they could throw into the end zone or could run. They've got some options still with that timeout in their pocket.
Well, you know, down by 2 scores, they'd like to finish with 6 points, not 3.
Because the Roughers will get the ball to start the third quarter.
Tay Moore has been over to the sideline talking with the coaching staff, including the interim head coach, Justin Rowland, who also, Nick, at Ponca City High School is the Wildcats head wrestling coach. Empty backfield for Moore. Stacked receivers left and right. Straight drop back, throw to the outside edge, caught by Cunningham at the 10. He scissored and dropped to the 6-yard line, and Ponca City will have to quickly call yet another timeout.
Gets 3 yards, but then the Wildcats use their last timeout.
Koda Bardowski lost his helmet on that play, so he'll have to come to the sideline. Ponca City will call the timeout. We'll keep it here. We'll do a complete check of all the playoff scoreboard from 6A1 through 6A2 all the way down, as all the teams in full slate this Friday night after the teams in 6A1 and 2, the district champions and runner-ups, had the week off a week ago.
Checking a couple of the scores now in 3A tonight, or 2A. Kiefer leading Sequoia Tahlequah 36-0 in the second quarter. Vian and Adair leading there in the second quarter by a score of 20-14. Victory Christian on top of Preg tonight. Our good buddy Rafe Watkins, the head coach there.
Undefeated on the season are the Red Devils.
But they're behind now, 28-18. Idabel trailing Little Kansas 14-7. And Washington, the odds-on favorite in that class, leading Meeker 21-7.
So a second and goal from the 5-yard line. 11 seconds left to play before halftime. A quartet of receivers stacked to the right, the short side. Moore with a hard count, stands in the pocket, waits, being flushed, chased by Brewer, trying to get to the corner, might have been tripped up, then just throws the ball up for grabs and incomplete.
There wasn't anybody there, so that's got to be a grounding.
And he's outside the pocket, Nick. It'll go incomplete, and they'll stop the clock with 0.3 seconds left. My, oh my. That's a quick trigger on the clock downstairs, guys. We're at home. Incomplete forward pass. Wildcats will get one more chance at it. Boy, that's quick trigger. That's all I can say. That's being fair. So now the Wildcats will go for the field goal. As Adrian Perez, the junior place kicker, who's also a member of the team's school soccer team, will come on for an apparent field goal, but the Roughers seeing something they thought might be up. We'll call a timeout and make sure everything is status quo. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Rougher TV crew, whether you are in the Muskogee area or you're in Louisiana or Texas, wherever you may be watching, we're glad to have you aboard for this playoff championship environment.
Looking at some of the 6A1 scores tonight. Bixby all over Norman, 38-0.
As my granddaughter would say, Papa, big shocker.
Yeah, right. Union leading Westmore 14-7. Jinx ahead of Edmond Santa Fe 10-3. That game late in the first half. And Owasso over Norman North 6-0.
So from the 5-yard line, it's third down and goal to go, you might say, and the Wildcats will come back with the field goal unit. Adrian Perez will put his tee at the 12. And now another timeout called by the Roughers, maybe trying to mess with the psyche of the junior place kicker. Got any more scores, Nick? You want to bounce around, maybe go back to 4A and update us on some of the local teams in action tonight?
Yeah, we'll do that here. 4A and in 4A. Blanchard still leading Sallisaw 14-7.
What a job Brandon Tyler has done there, just totally reversing the fortunes of Black Diamond football. That's a program that's got a lot of tradition, even though they've stumbled the past couple of years.
Wagner and Tuttle playing for the fourth time in a row in this particular time in the playoffs. Wagner ahead in the second quarter of that game, 7-0. Poto ahead of Newcastle, 14-7. and Ada on top of Clinton, 14-7 in that game.
That's
in
a
the second quarter.
matchup of two schools that between the two own 36 state championships. A lot of tradition-rich football being played there tonight in Clinton. So now, after a couple of timeouts, young Mr. Adrian Perez will come on. A.J. Landis to hold. The tee will be placed on the just inside the right hash mark at the 12. Snap is back, pressure's on, the kick is on the way, it looks good, and it is good. As time expires, Adrian Perez with the 22-yard field goal. The two teams go to the dressing room. Ruffers leading at 14-3 tonight here at Ruffer Village. Stay tuned. Our coverage of Ruffer football in the 6A2 football playoffs continues after this 3-minute timeout on Ruffer Football 2023.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Proud to be a Muskogee Ruffer, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to hondaofmuskogee.com.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick, wow! New Silverados, 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverados, 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back to Ruffer Village here on this quarterfinal matchup between the Muskogee Ruffers and the Wildcats of Ponca City High School. Muskogee on its second offensive possession went 58 yards for the score. Latavian Johnson putting the Ruffers on the scoreboard at the 6-minute mark. It was 7-0 after the point after touchdown from Val Espinosa. Ruffers defense doing its job pretty solid all night long. But the Ruffers then would, after a fumble recovery by Caleb Houston as Tay Moore tried to stretch out to get the first down, lost control of the football. Houston recovering at the Muskogee 44. The Ruffers in the next 3.5 minutes would go the 56 yards. And on a Wildcat call, sophomore Kenyon Goodson from 10 yards out with 4:28 to go, making it 14-0. Ponca City maintains possession for the remainder of the half, stretching it all the way to the final 3 seconds and finishing with a 22-yard field goal by Adrian Perez to give us our halftime score of 14-3. Nick, statistics, are they about the same?
For the most part, the Roughers with 5 first downs in the half. Ponca City, remember, didn't have any until that last drive, and they got 4 first downs on that last drive that took them down to the field goal. Roughers have rushed 11 times for 70 yards, 5 of 8 passing for Ficklin for just 28 yards tonight. So the Roughers 98 yards in offense, 5 penalties for 29 yards, and no turnovers for Muskogee. For the Wildcats, they've rushed the ball 19 times for 49 yards. They are 4 of 7 passing for 25, so they have just 74 yards in offense. A lot of that coming on that last drive that they went 63 yards on that drive at the end of the first half. They got most of that yardage there. They have 1 fumble loss. They had just 1 penalty in the game for 5 yards. Beasley, the leading rusher for the Roughers, 3 carries for 30 yards. McGee, 2 catches for 24. And for Ponca City, Big Goose is the leading ground gainer. 8
What
carries
a name for a football player.
Big Goose, yeah. 8 carries for 23, and Runnels with the 1 catch for 16 yards as the leading receiver.
Nick, I'm going to go ahead and say this now because I meant to say it earlier. I'm very impressed with the mindset of Ponca City Wildcats football, because 3 weeks ago, when things kind of went upside down with the dismissal of the head coach and the naming of Justin Rowland to become the interim head coach for the remainder of the season, this one could have gone totally the other way. But credit Rowland and credit the young men wearing the Wildcat uniform for their dedication, their heart, and their refusing to lose sight of their goal. And no, they aren't the favorite coming into Rougher Village here tonight, but don't tell those Wildcats that there's anything else than a possible victory tonight here to spoil the state championship dreams of Muskogee.
Well, you look at it and just look at the Muskogee numbers. The Roughers averaging 400 and something yards per game offensively. They have less than 100 here in the first half. They've smothered the Roughers' short passing game for the most part. The Roughers have a couple of medium-sized gains from McGee, but Ponca City's done a good job of game planning defensively against the Roughers tonight.
Halftime score, Muskogee in front of Ponca City, 14-3. We'll return with more coverage from the 6A2 quarterfinals. Muskogee and Ponca City at the half. We're back in 3 minutes on Rougher Football 2023.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at FinnertyLaw.com.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Welcome back to Rougher Village. We're at halftime in this 6A2 quarterfinal matchup. The Muskogee Roughers have taken a 14-3 lead to the halftime dressing room. You know, it's been said over and over again, and it is true, especially in Muskogee, it does take a village to raise the youth of today, and it takes a combined effort of business and individuals to make everything happen on a day-to-day basis. One of those has been a part of Muskogee for almost better than 50 years. Melissa McLean, who is here tonight from Bank First. 50 years, that's a long, long time ago. You were a much younger person then.
I was a much younger person. I have not been at the bank myself 50 years, but I have been there more than 20 now.
Talk to me a little bit, Melissa, about kind of just the overall approach of the people at Bank First who are loyal. The message says loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you, but Bank First in Muskogee is loyal to Muskogee, not only to just your banking patrons, but also to this citywide effort and specifically to Muskogee Public Schools.
Of course. We are exceptionally proud of all the improvements that have been made with Muskogee Public Schools the past couple of years. It's been amazing to watch. I am an alumni of Muskogee, so very proud.
I won't ask you to tell us what year, but you can if you like.
I was a graduate in the year 2000.
All right, very good. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I can see firsthand the improvements we've made. I remember playing in the band at Indian Bowl.
What instrument?
I played the flute.
All right, very good.
Yeah, it's great.
And marched all over that turf at Indian Bowl?
I sure did, and I loved every minute of it, and I hope that all the students that are participating in the performing arts programs and the athletic programs are having the same experiences and enjoying it as much as I did and getting as much out of it and hoping to contribute back to the community afterwards.
What are some of your fondest memories as a Muskogee High School student? The buildings, as we can see just down below us, have certainly been updated since you walked the halls of Muskogee High School, and you talked about your efforts within the band, but some of your fondest days as a Muskogee High School student?
It has to be marching on the football field and participating in all the games and cheering in the stands and watching our football team improve over the years.
Let's talk a little bit about why Bank First is so involved in this community. We talked about the way in which you guys take care of your patrons. I mean, the message says if you need help with any of your financial needs, whether it's for your business, home, or just your big dreams, that's where Bank First comes to the rescue. Talk to me why that has been such a heartfelt effort and a total everyday commitment of everybody there at Bank First here in Muskogee.
The employees that are made up at Muskogee, we want to be part of their family, part of their friends. We want to be the banker in their pocket. So if there is something that's needed by individuals, by businesses in the communities, we want to be able to provide that to them. So I particularly enjoy when people are struggling, that we're there to, counsel them, to hopefully provide the services that they need to get them past that hurdle that a lot of people have been, experiencing lately. We want to see the future graduates of Muskogee High School start their first business and help them excel at that. And we just want to be there. We have employees that are alumni of the school like myself. We have employees that...
Actually, you have a family member that has one of her direct siblings playing football down there tonight.
One of our tellers. Her brother is number 73 out on the field. Yes. and he's having a great year, I understand. So I know that they're her and her fellow teller friends are in the audience tonight watching and supporting the school.
We're certainly glad to have people like Bank First and the friends there. And, of course, John Hayes unable to be with us here tonight. He had some previous commitments. But the team at Bank First is ready to play on your team whenever you have any type of financial needs. I also would say, too, that technology has made banking so much more customer-friendly, and that's really one of the advantages that Bank First in Muskogee provides.
It is. You know, like all the other banks, you know, we have apps, we have mobile tools, online banking, all the great assets that make banking a lot easier for the people that are working and having busy lives. We're still able to provide that excellent service in person, but it's also available electronically now too. So it just makes it the ease and the convenience a lot better for our customers.
I know you don't know this about me, but I actually have had a connection to the Rainbolt family since my childhood days. Mr. Rainbolt, Gene Rainbolt, who of course founded Bank First. His son David, I think now, is the chief executive officer of Bank First. And there are locations all across the state that are ready and willing to help you in any type of financial services.
They are, and you know, Mr. Rainbolt, Gene Rainbolt, he is still around. You know,
I don't doubt that at all. Keeping a close eye on everything.
Yes, he is. It's a great family. They've built up a very great organization with Bank First, and I'm proud to work for it.
It is a family-type atmosphere at Bank First, and we're glad to have you to be a part of the Ruffer family here tonight as our game night sponsor. Melissa McLean, thank you for coming down and sharing some thoughts about Bank First, and go enjoy the second half and get out the flute and play. Hey, can you still play the fight song?
I can still play the fight song. I still have it memorized.
Do you have the words?
Oh, I don't know the words.
I was going to ask you to teach our producers the words if you knew that. I know the first two on Muskogee.
I can still play it on the flute, but maybe not the words.
All right. Well, hey, appreciate you coming down, and glad to have the team from Bank First with us here tonight at Ruffer Village.
We appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
You bet. Melissa McLean of Bank First, our guest here at halftime. Muskogee Ruffers out in front by the count of 14-3 over the Ponca City Wildcats. More from Ruffer Village after this 3-minute timeout on Ruffer Football in 2023. Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Proud to be a Muskogee Ruffer, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to hondaofmuskogee.com.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick. Wow! New Silverado's 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverado's 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Well, that's kind of the atmosphere here at Ruffer Village. The beat is on, although not as much on the scoreboard, Nick, perhaps as the Ruffers would like, up 14-3. We did mention this is the second week for high school football playoffs, and for classes 6A1, 6A2, 5A, 4A, 3A, and Class C, it is quarterfinal action. Speaking of 6A2, all the favorites, the higher-seeded teams out in front. Stillwater having no trouble with Putnam City as the Pioneers at the half have a 42-0 advantage. Choctaw with a 22-0 shutout of Sand Springs. That game has reached halftime. And Deer Creek, who would, with the win, meet the winner of this one. The Antlers up on top of Bartlesville 21-0. And the Ruffers leading at 14-3. Nick, some other scores?
6A1. Guess what? Bixby is winning easily tonight, 52-0 over Norman in the second quarter. Westmore giving Union quite a fit tonight, 14-7. The Redhawks struggling there. Halftime of that game, only up by 7. Owasso on top of Norman North, 12-0. That game, last score there early in the second quarter. And Jinx at halftime leading Edmond Santa Fe by a score of 10-3.
Class 5A scores, and one of these is really a big shocker for me because, I mean, Del City's ranked number 2 and certainly a very talented football team, but I felt like the Guthrie Blue Jays with their staunch defense, they're 10-1 on the season, their only loss having been to Carl Albert. But the Eagles are flying high. They lead Guthrie 34-0 at halftime. Carl Albert, the number 1 ranked team in 5A, and the defending state champions with a 42-0 advantage over Collinsville. That's at intermission. The Bishops are battling it on the gridiron, and McGinnis has the 14-7 lead over Bishop Kelly. And no score at halftime between the Owls of Elgin and the Zebras of Claremore. That's in 5A, Nick.
In 4A, the Sallisaw Black Diamonds hanging in there with third-ranked Blanchard, 21-14. Blanchard leading late in the second quarter of that game. We said earlier, right before we went to the halftime break, Ada leading Clinton 14-7. Top-ranked Poto on top of Newcastle, 14-12. That game now at halftime. And in what is always a struggle between these two teams, Wagner leading Tuttle 7-0. We talked to Dale Condon earlier in the week about this game, and he said, yeah, it's just a matter of who's going to be more physical and who's going to turn the ball over fewer times. But they've played, this is the 4th time they've played. The 3 times they've played before, Wagner's won 2 of those, and they've gone on to win the state title both of those times.
Heritage Hall in Class 3A, ranked number 2, leading Berry Hill 21-0 at the half. Lincoln Christian, the top-rated squad in Class 3A, with a 31-0 lead over Sulphur. Perkins Tryons, the Demons trying to advance. They've got a 55-0 advantage over 8th-ranked Holland Hall. That's in the second quarter. And Marlowe is shutting out Cassia Hall. That's a number 9 against a number 17 with the 9th-ranked Outlaws out in front of intermission by the count of 27-0.
In 2A tonight, Millwood leading Purcell by a score of 32-0 at halftime. Sorry about that.
That's my old alma mater, but they don't have enough firepower to handle the Falcons.
The Wolverines of Vian doing a good job. They're leading at halftime by a score of 35-20 as they've had a couple of sophomores that have really come on for them this year to spark their offense. Idabel and Little Kansas tied at halftime, 21-all. In a no-one-wants-to-play offensive game, Victory Christian on top of Prague, 36-24. That game's still in the second quarter. Sequoia Tahlequah taking it on the chin tonight from Kiefer, 50-0. This says that game's still in the first quarter. Wow. And number 1 ranked and defending champion Washington leading Meeker 28-7 at halftime in their game.
Class A scores, Minko leading Hooker 20-7. That's at the break. Dibble in front of Walters 20-13. Fairview leading Crescent 13-0. Pawnee leading Central Sallisaw in a tight one 8-0. That's at halftime. Boone Apache in front of Stratford 21-13. Stroud in front of Gore. Brandon Ellis squad having a tough time against the Stroud Tigers, 29-6 at halftime. Stroud in front, 35-0. Hominy ranked number 2 over Wyandotte, and Woodland, the number 4 ranked team in the state, in front of Concord, 16-6 at intermission.
And in Class B, we've got one area team still in going at it. And Weber's Falls trailing Waletka 30-12 at halftime. Other in games in Class B find Oklahoma Bible on top of Southwest Covenant 22-12. O'Keene leading Laverne 24-22. Important game here and a close one. Regent Prep leading second-ranked Dewar 37-34. That game is in the second quarter still. Velma Alma on top of Garber 30-20. Keota leading Yale 22-16. Drumright leading Caddo 30-20, and Sealing on top of Turpin 26-0.
And in the state's smallest class, 8-man football, Class C, 4 games under the lights tonight with the winners moving on to next week's semifinals. Timberlake leading Coyle 12-6. Tipton, number 1 in the state, the defending state champions, comfortably in front of Graham Dustin 50-6. Ryan leading Wilson Henrietta 30-14, and it is Waynoka and Thackerville going back and forth with the Waynoka squad out in front 34-28. That game is in the second quarter of play, and we're just about ready to begin the third quarter tonight here from Ruffer Village. Ruffers deferred the choice to the second half. They'll have the football to begin the third quarter and start second half play with a 14-3 lead. Nick, your thoughts about what the Ruffers must do here quick and early to set the tempo?
Well, they're going to have to make some changes somewhere. I've got to think that we've got to get the passing game going. We've got a couple of passes to McGee, but we haven't really thrown anything too terribly long. And Ponca City's done a good job in the secondary, but I think that's the key for the Ruffers is to get that short passing game going.
Ruffers had 5 possessions in those opening 2 quarters of play, so you can see how Ponca City's been able to kind of slow things down. Short pooch kick. Washington will signal for the fair catch at the 35. After watching Caden McGee take one to the house a few weeks ago, nobody has opted to try to kick the ball deep to the Ruffers.
Well, they haven't. They're very smart, I would think. And so Ruffers get pretty good field position to start here in the third quarter from their own 35.
Good to have our old buddy Steve Braun in the booth with us here tonight. Came back to God's country from south of the Red River back to Oklahoma to watch Muskogee in this matchup against Ponca City. Jamie Beasley will be along with his brother Andre to the left. McGee out wide to the right. Ficklin, play action, hands off to Johnson. He's hitting the backfield. Wildcats got past the line of scrimmage, just stepped right past the would-be blockers, and Johnson will go down for a loss back to the 32-yard line.
You know, we haven't mentioned it too much, but the defensive front of this Ponca City team has done a good job of penetrating and not letting that senior heavy offensive line of the Ruffers dominate them.
So now the Ruffers facing a second 13 will put Andre and Caden wide to the right. Ficklin handing off. They fake the end around. Johnson will cut back in traffic. He'll get back the yardage lost on first down. And that might be about all, getting back to the 35-yard line. So a loss of 3 on first down, a gain of 3 on second is now third and long. That's not the situation the Ruffers wanted to be in to kind of get the train rolling down after down after down. 3rd and 10, have to go to the 45.
Puts them in the passing situation once again.
Javon Washington in the slot to the near side. Ficklin going to pull it, going to wait, scramble around, throw late, caught, and a push from behind. Ruffers thought there could have been 2 hands to the back of the intended target, Andre Beasley, prior to the football getting there.
Really close, I will say that.
So the incomplete pass, Adriel Miller with the defense. And the Ruffers go 3 and out to begin the third quarter. 14-3 Muskogee in front, but unable to advance the ball past the down marker on this first possession. And Tay Moore, the elusive athlete for the Wildcats, will be standing back around the 25 as Ficklin will be on the punt. Good snap back to Bird with the right leg. He drives it away from Moore. It'll hit at about the 28 and roll toward the sideline and go out of bounds. And the official will place his foot on the 29-yard line. That's where Ponca City will start 1st and 10.
36-yard punt that time by the Ficklin. And so Ponca City, let's see what the Ruffer defense. Ponca City got some leverage there, some yardage in that last drive in the first half as they moved it the 63 yards before getting the field goal. So let's see what kind of changes the Ruffers may have made defensively to try and stop that running game was effective.
Watson, Brewer, Pepiakata, and Pellet, the four-man defensive front. Thompson, Moore, and Bardowski, the trio of linebackers. Tay Moore out of the pistol. Going to call his own number. Coming to his left, trying to find a blocker for some advantage. The gain will go across the 30, upfield to the 31-yard line on just the direct snap to the quarterback and the run.
Not a lot of yardage, but you see the Ponca City offensive line having just a little bit better of it against that Muskogee front. We saw it there that last drive in the first half, and on that play there, they just got a little bit more of a surge than the rougher defense was able to handle.
Pites, Hasseltine, Leonard, McGahey, and Foster moving the forward line of scrimmage. 2nd and 8 for Ponca City. Tay Moore will take the snap, start to his right on the counter, come back in traffic and ruffers this time, blow it up. Vernon Pepiakata with the body slam on Donovan Harjo. He'll lose back 1 of the 2 yards gained on first down, but there was no place to go for the freshman Donovan Harjo when he ran into Big Vernon.
They've tried that reverse a couple of times, or that little slant play with the fake and then the handoff to Harjo coming back. The Rubbers have stopped that play pretty much every time.
So 3rd and 9 for Ponca City. Gavin Cunningham will be the wide out. He'll be far to the right side. In that slot to the same right side will be Cooper Rich. As Moore will bring Landis in motion across the formation. Step back, throw the little bubble screen underneath. Caught and made at the 30, 35, out of a tackle to 40, and up to about the 45-yard line goes Donovan Harjo.
Jaden Swanson had a shot at him down around the 30-yard line and whiffed on the tackle, and Harjo was able to get the rest of the yardage, 15 yards on the play.
To the 45-yard line for a Wildcat first down. 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. Muskogee holding to a 14-3 advantage. 1 is enough, Nick, but I'd like to have it 3 touchdown separation at least.
Yeah, for sure. Especially now that Ponca City's come out and moved the ball here to start this third quarter.
Runnels and Landis will be the twins to the near side left. Cunningham up top to the right. Moore will take it. He'll hand it off. This is Donovan Harjo, the freshman, spinning out of a tackler past the hands of Anthony Watson and falling downfield from the 45 to the midfield stripe, or I should say upfield to the 50-yard line. 2nd and 5 for Ponca City. Nick, not only are they moving the ball, but they're also keeping the rougher offense off the field. They're taking a lot of time between each and every snap. That's just taking precious seconds off the scoreboard time clock with 8:15 to go here in the third.
Well, that drive at the end of the first half was a 13-play drive, which took a lot of time off.
4 minutes, almost 5. Moore this time, and whistle sound, and there's motion up front on the part of the Wildcats. So what was 2nd and 5 now will become 2nd and 10. Ponca City comes out of the Western Division of 6A2 football. They finished in the 3rd spot behind Deer Creek and Choctaw. And as play resumes, it'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats of interim head coach Justin Rowland.
It's only the second penalty of the night against Ponca City.
2 receivers to the near side left, Landis and Runnels. Moore will take it. A little counter handoff. Back it comes to the freshman. Getting across the line of scrimmage and up to about the 48-yard line before the rougher defense is there to take Harjo to the turf. It is the ever-present Travion Houston along with Parker Pellet making the stop. Gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
So this is where the rougher defense now needs to really step up. They've got Ponca in a 3rd and relatively long situation. So now's the time to step up, not let the misdirection get advantage of you this time.
Big Goose in as the running back this time. They'll stack receivers in tight to the right. Play action. Ruffers come on a blitz. They lose the handle on Moore. He'll roll back to his right, throw it up and over the top. Caught by Cooper Ridge on the boundary for the first down. Oh, the Ruffers had so many chances and just could not get to the legs or the body of Tay Moore, and he's able to throw it downfield. 22 yards on the pass completion to Cooper Ridge and a Ponca City first down. There is a flag down on the play as well.
But it's downfield. This might be a
defense. That penalty is declined. More yardage.
Holding on the Roughers is obviously declined, so the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10 at the Rougher 30.
That'll move it into Rougher territory. Now an empty backfield for Taymor with a quartet of receivers to his left. Takes the snap, quick slot, pass out in space. It hit immediately. Ruffers that time came up fast, and it was again the Ruffers secondary that got there that time in a big, big hurry. Martell Bolden coming up and taking down Gavin Cunningham behind the line of scrimmage. That little out route, trying to get it upfield and hurry. A loss of 5 on the play.
Every time they've tried to get the ball to Cunningham, who's their leading receiver, the Ruffers have done a good job there, but it's been the secondary guys that have kind of hurt on the passing game, or the Ruffers.
Harjo back in as the running back. Cunningham will be the single receiver way out wide to the right on top of the numbers. Rich in the slot to the same right side. Moore's going to roll right, look to throw back left. Waits, throws, has a receiver at the 34. Breaks through a first contact before Travion Houston can get at him.
I think that's Harjo there.
And at the 30-yard line, completion. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Got the 5 back they lost.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Rougher TV crew bring you tonight's video action from inside the Palace, the magnificent home of Rougher football known as Rougher Village.
Looks like we had another flag on that play, too. Ineligible receiver.
So they'll repeat 2nd down, but they'll take it from the preceding play. So take off the 5 and put a -5 on your statistical column for the penalty. Now it becomes 2nd and 20. Nick Hampton, I'm just going to boastfully say Rougher Village is the best high school environment atmosphere for football in the state of Oklahoma. It's definitely a magnificent facility.
It is. Done a really fine job here, all aspects.
Taymor with the running back to his left. He will roll to the left side. Ruffers come on a blitz, get in at the quarterback, can't make the tackle. Now flushing from the pocket. Moore still wants to throw, just heaves this one toward the goal line. It's up for grabs and gone! Oh, what an individual effort by Cunningham.
Wow.
Ruffers had 2 shots on Taymor and couldn't get him down on the blitz. And the throw it up for grabs, and Gavin Cunningham comes down with a 30-yard reception and good enough for a Wildcat 1st down and 10 at the Rougher 10-yard line.
Wow, what a nice grab by Cunningham. Really out-muscled 2 defenders for that. He threw that up. When he threw it up, he wondered whether Taymor was going to get that one back or not, but good job.
This will be the 9th play in this drive that started at the Wildcat 29-yard line. Moore on a counter, going to give it off to Donovan Harjo. He'll slam straight ahead, get back to the line of scrimmage, and nothing more. So 2nd down and 10. But again, each and every running play just taking precious seconds away from the Muskogee offense that has to be standing with their hands on their hips, Nick, waiting their time to go.
Being very frustrated because they haven't been able to get much done tonight.
Good defensive game plan being employed by the Wildcats here on the Ruffers home turf. Trying to move on to the quarterfinals for a 2nd straight year, to the semifinals for a 2nd straight year against either Deer Creek or Bartlesville. Moore this time with Big Goose as the running back. Trips out wide right. Back in the pocket, good protection. Now under some pressure. Dances to his left, wants to throw to the end zone, has a receiver there, and fumbled out of bounds.
Oh, he's wide open,
too. Cole Runnels was by himself and had the ball bounce off his hands to the turf, incomplete. Ruffers dodge a big bullet there.
That had touchdown written all over it. Runnels had done a little square out and was headed to the sideline, and he had 3 steps on the defender easily.
So now it'll be 3rd and 10 for Ponca City. Ruffers leading at 14-3, but the Wildcats have controlled the clock here in the second half. 4:14 as time stops on that incomplete forward pass. Wildcats have to reach the end zone.
Watch Cunningham way out to the right out there.
Moore by himself takes the snap, rolls to his right, stands up, wants to throw across the middle. Receivers there, caught. This time Runnels with the catch for the touchdown. Crossing route, Cole Runnels making the grab right on the goal line, but it's catch for 6. And Ponca City has cut the gap to 14-9 with a PAT to follow.
Well, the crowd got to be a little bit shell-shocked at this point in time. Seeing the Wildcats come back and make a game of this where the rougher offense is just really kind of stalled and sputtered tonight.
Adrian Perez will try to make this a 4-point ball game. Snap is down, kicks away. It crawls over the upright good. And with 4:07 to go in the third, Ponca City has moved back into contention of one-score margin. 14-10, Ruffers on top. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2023.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Support Muskogee Public Schools.
Ponca City Wildcats putting together an 11-play drive that went 71 yards. Nick, using 6 minutes and 35 seconds time of possession. Tay Moore on the touchdown pass to Cole Runnels. And it's now a 14-10 Ruffer advantage.
And Moore, we haven't seen too many quarterbacks out past Jamarian Ficklin this year, but so far he has. He's got 102 yards through the air so far tonight.
Adrian Perez puts the ball on the tee. He'll pooch it up short. It's over to the sideline. That's a live ball. That's a free kick rolling around on the turf. And Ponca City is, I think, going to come up with it.
I think so.
It took a hop, and the Wildcats have got it. And coming out of the pile for Po High with the football is Jeremy Payne. Ruffers got caught napping that time, Nick, on the special teams.
Not
kind
so
of a
much.
Short pooch onside kick.
It ended up being an onside kick, but not your traditional one, and just pooched up in the air, and the Ruffers didn't get up there quickly enough to cover it.
Jeremy Payne with the kickoff recovery gives Ponca City back the football, and the Wildcats are trying to get out of the cage and feast at the expense of the Ruffers. Now Moore with Harjo to his right. Drops straight back. Going to throw it down the boundary deep. Ruffers going stride for stride with Gavin Cunningham. There's a flag thrown. That's going to be interference against the Ruffers.
That's Jaden Swanson, I think, back there on the coverage.
So they'll mark it from the 45 to the 30 on the PI flag against the Ruffers. With exactly 4 minutes left to go here in the third, Ponca City, who trailed 14-3 at intermission, took their first possession, going the distance of 71 yards, and after the kickoff recovery, have it right back in their possession. 1st and 10 from the 30. Moore again with Harjo as the running back. He'll call his own number. He'll step upfield and get wrestled to the turf. Good effort that time by Anthony Watson and company, stopping that one for about a half-yard pickup to the, what we'll call the 29-yard line. With the clock continuing to chip away. Precious seconds, 3:40 and counting here in the third. Ruffers have ran only 3 offensive plays in this quarter so far.
Very methodical drive here and methodical offense all night long by this Ponca City team.
Big Goose in as the running back. He's to the left to Tay Moore. They'll bring motion across the formation, and now there's movement up front. It's going to be a penalty against Ponca City.
It's their 4th call of the night.
That'll back it up 5 on the penalty to the 34 and stop the clock with 3:19 to go. Not too many surprises in 6A2 football. Deer Creek comfortably in front, as is Choctaw and Stillwater. Ruffers trying to move into that Final Four in the chase for the gold ball in 2023, something they have not won since 1986.
Harjo comes back in at the running back spot for the Wildcats.
Landis, the wide receiver, out far to the left. Cunningham up top. Moore sets up, throws on the pass back to Cunningham. Out of a block at the 35, the 30, down the boundary. Inside the 25 to the 23. So from the 34 to the 23, that's an 11-yard gain. And the Wildcats will have a manageable third down situation as the clock continues to run with 2:40 and counting here in the third. 3rd down and 3 for Ponca City at the Muskogee 23-yard line. Moore at quarterback. Hard count. Trying to get the Ruffers to fall into that neutral zone, but didn't get the forward progress, although Tion Brewer did lean forward. Moore will hand it off, bouncing out on the edge. Ruffers that time corral it on the corner.
Do a good job of there holding him down.
Harjo the ball carrier, but he tried to bounce it outside and got actually stopped for a yard loss back to the 24.
I think Swanson came up quickly from the safety spot, getting in on the tackle for the Ruffers.
So it's 4th and 4 for Ponca City from the Ruffer 24-yard line, trying to extend this possession and possibly take the lead against the Muskogee Ruffers, who all season long were ranked number 1 and after the loss to Stillwater dropped to 3rd in the 6A poll. Taymor with Big Goose to his left. Play action, throws, caught in space, dropped! Oh, big break for the Ruffers. That's one that A.J. Landis would like to have do-overs, but it won't matter because the incomplete pass turns the ball over on downs. But A.J. Landis, Nick, was in space for a first down catch.
That's 2 big drops now for Ponca City. They had the one in the end zone that was an easy touchdown that was dropped, and now Landis drops this one, what would have been a first down for the Wildcats.
A minute and 34 seconds left. It has been more than 9 minutes since Ruffers have had an offensive play. Ficklin with Johnson to his left. Bird takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson, trying to find running, and there's just nothing there, as LJ is going to go down for a 1-yard loss. The upfield presence of the defensive front of the Ponca City Wildcats has been ever present.
And the Ruffers have
Romero, Haas, Hobbs, Goddard, linebackers McQueen, Wohl, and Garcia. Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11.
I'd like to see Bird keep it on one of those instead of handing it off to Johnson.
Ficklin this time will pull it. He'll throw it across the middle. McGee goes up, makes a catch at the 35. Caden out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. 14 yards on the pass completion. Kyle Edwards, Buick GMC, Ruffer, first down and 10.
That's what we need to see, more of that.
To the 38-yard line. That'll be a 15-yard pickup. The clock ticking down to 1:07 to play here in quarter number 3. Ficklin out of the gun. Hands it off again to Johnson, trying to this time. That's Bowler rather than Johnson. He'll get maybe one to the 39-yard line, and we'll have time for one more play here in the third. Nick, 6 offensive plays for the Ruffers here in the third. This will be number 7 in the entire 12-minute stanza. Ponca City's done exactly what they intended to do, shorten the game.
They have. They've done it successfully with a couple of long drives.
Ficklin this time. Turns, pitches on the edge. Beasley with blockers in front. 45, 50, 45 into Ponca territory and shoved out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Good tackle there. Saving a touchdown was Xavier Parker, 22 yards on the run.
Just a power sweep. Andre Beasley at a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Ruffer first down at 10. Clock stopping at the 22-second mark as Beasley went out of bounds. So now Andre will jump out wide to the left. McGee will be along with Washington the right. That's Watson. They'll run the counter half inside. Looking for a crease is Dion Bowler. Following blockers, squirts between defenders. Falls downfield to the 33. It'll be a pickup of 6 and more than likely the final play of this third quarter stanza. 12 minutes remaining and a chance to dance in the semifinals. Ruffer's going to hurry to the line of scrimmage, Nick. They may try to get this one away. Ficklin will just turn and look at the clock and see it go to 000, and we'll pick up action in the fourth. After 3 quarters, Muskogee 14, Ponca City 10. Back with the final 12 minutes of action for one of these two teams in 2023 after this 30-second timeout on Ruffer TV.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton back with you at Ruffer Village. 14-10, Muskogee in front, Nick, during the quarter break. The big sign put up on the Jumbotron in the south end zone. Senior wide receiver, Mr. Big Play, Caden McGee, with his first catch tonight of 13 yards, crossed over the 1,000-yard club. Congratulations to the senior who just this week, after committing earlier to Nevada, Las Vegas in the summer, got an offer from the University of Tulsa.
Okay.
So it'll be 2nd down and 4.
He's got 3 catches for 38 yards tonight, does McGee.
Ruffers have a 2nd and 4 from the 33 in Ponca territory as we begin the fourth quarter. Ruffers moving from our right to left. Bowler, the running back. Ficklin checking left and right as he alternates the play call. Bird will take the snap. Sets in the pocket. The left-hander wants to go to the deep route. Throwing it down the boundary over the outstretched hands. McGee with the catch, but he's out of bounds. It was over the outside hands, and he couldn't keep his feet inside the painted boundary.
Brings up a big 3rd down now for the Ruffers, 3rd and 4. Need to convert, keep the first down. They really need a score to kind of turn the momentum back around in this game.
Certainly to make it a 2-possession ball game as well. Ficklin taking the play call from the sideline. McGee will go to the right side, outside the numbers. Beasley and James will be to the left. Ficklin's going to keep it on a quarterback keeper. Pushes off one tackler at the 30. Still on his feet downfield for the first down to the 26-yard line on a quarterback keeper, Jamarian Ficklin.
7 yards. That's his 2nd carry tonight. His first was actually a sack in the first quarter where he took a 12-yard loss.
The 7-yard gain good enough for a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer, 1st down and 10. As the clock continues to chip away in the final 11-plus minutes of action for one of these two teams here this year. Ruffers this time with a trio of receivers to the left side. Bowler, the running back. Ficklin takes it. 5-step drop. Steps up in the pocket. Now being flushed. Wants to throw downfield. Looking for Beasley behind everybody. He's got it. Andre. Touchdown. Muskogee. 26-yard throw and catch. Jamarian Ficklin to Andre Beasley. And for the Ruffer junior quarterback, that is his 30th pass completion for a touchdown here in 2023. None bigger than this one because it spreads the margin to 2 scores.
And that's a big plus there because of the way Ponca City plays offense. They are not a big play team, and so getting behind and playing catch-up's not their game.
Val Espinosa could make it a 3-possession game. A ball down, the kick is up, it splits the uprights good. Honk the horn, flash the lights. Ruffers in front, 21-10. Here at Ruffer Village, we're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2023.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Yep.
Back at Ruffer Village, Ponca City used an enormous amount of time earlier, using almost 7.5 minutes to score in the third. Ruffers here go quickly, Nick, going the distance 76 yards in a little more than 2 minutes time of possession. And on the 26-yard touchdown strike from Jamarian Ficklin to Andre Beasley, the Ruffers have pushed it to an 11-point advantage, 21-10.
Here's the defense now needs to keep Ponca City, really limit him, not let him get into a big long drive again. Let's take the ball away from him and let the Ruffers score once more.
Espinosa will chip this one high and deep over toward the boundary, fielded by Cunningham, going back to his left, trying to find a gap, has a momentary break, keeps his balance across the 30, 35, up to the 40 and 43-yard line on the return. Dion Bowler, one of the black shirts for the Ruffers, along with Koda Barnowski making the stop, but Cunningham getting good field position for Po High to start this possession from their own 43-yard line.
He got a nice, almost 20-yard return on that kickoff and puts the Wildcats in pretty good field position at their own 43.
Here's where the Ruffer defense needs to flex its muscles, Nick, and force out a quick 3-and-out and give the offense back possession. But credit the offensive game plan and execution of the Wildcats here tonight. Tay Moore, the 3-year starter at quarterback, now will have Donovan Harjo, the freshman, to his right. out of the shotgun. They run the counter handoff in traffic. This is Harjo, and he runs face-to-face with Travion Houston, along with some help in traffic from one of the big guys up in the trench.
No gain on the play. Right at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. That's what the Rivers wanted to do.
Jaden Smith helping out on the stop, 6'2", 280-pound senior. He'll come off, and back into the defensive front will come Caleb Houston.
Make the Wildcats play behind the chains if you can here.
2nd and 10, clock showing 10:42 and counting. Ruffers leading at 21-10. Moore back in the pocket, good protection up the crease. Cooper Rich with the catch, backpedaling right in the grasp of Deion Bowler, but he's able to hold on to the football at the 39-yard line in Ruffer territory.
18-yard pass play, and the Wildcats continue the drive. Now in Ruffer territory.
Ruffers just haven't had a chance to get to Taymor other than maybe a couple of times all night long.
131 yards passing tonight for Moore.
Landis and Runnels will be the twin receivers out to the left. Cunningham, one of the two to the right side, along with Rich. Play action, in traffic, off tackle, running to the right side. Ruffers standing up, Koda Barnowski, one of the black shirts, along with some help from teammate Arion Parrish. Downfield from the 39 to the 37. It'll be a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Ruffers have done a pretty good job here in the second half of containing the run game, not letting them get more than a couple of 3 yards every carry, but it's been the passing game that's kind of stoked the Wildcats here in the second half.
Cunningham, along with Rich, will be a pair of receivers to the right side. Landis and Runnels up top to the left. Moore's going to roll that way. He'll pull, Ruffer shoot the gap, up the field, ball's tipped up and incomplete. Tried to throw it on the crossing route to the big tight end, 6'5", senior Cooper Rich.
Vernon Pepiakata and Barnowski, the linebacker, on the blitz there, right in the face of Taymor as he threw that.
A big 3rd down situation for both teams here, Nick. Ruffers that they could force Ponca City to have to gamble on 4th down and down by better than 2 scores, or at least 2 scores, touchdown, and actually they're going to need a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal at the least. 3rd and 8, have to go to the 29. Moore will roll to his left. He'll stand up, now in the pocket, going to scramble, has some running room. Travion Houston knocks him down. I'm not sure that's the form tackle you want, but TT got him to the turf.
Shoulder there, and then Tim Moore finished him off at the 36. So it's a gain of only a yard. And it'll be 4th down for the Wildcats, still 4th and about 6 or 7.
And really for the Wildcats, Nick, I have to think this is 4th and ball game. For football this season brought to you by Serpro Muskogee, Nissan of Muskogee, by Lusher Millsap Funeral Services.
Here are the fans getting after it.
Taymor with a running back to his right, takes the snap straight back in the pocket, wants to sling a pass up the field. Intercepted! Ruffers trailing on the play, but come up with the INT. And who is it but the ever-present Timmy Moore with the pick? And the Ruffers will take over.
Big play there, as Moore just sunk back that time, and in the linebacker spot, just sunk back into the area between the linebackers and safeties and picked that one off. I don't know that Moore ever saw him back there.
Tim Moore intercepting Taymor's pass. No relation between the two. And the Ruffers will take over 1st and 10 at the 29. Just as they did a year ago, Nick, the defense forcing turnovers to keep the Wildcats at bay.
The Ruffer offense has kind of struggled a little bit, kind of unlike last year when they turned it over. They just aren't getting the job done quite as efficiently, and give a lot of credit to the defense for that. I think they're chasing off the drone that's been flying around here.
All right. Players looking up in the sky says, hey, look at me. I'm down there on the field, waving at them. 1st and 10 Ruffers from the 29. Ficklin at quarterback. Check it, that's not Quickly. This is Goodson on a direct snap. He'll keep it, come across the 30 out to the 34, maybe the 33 on the carry, a 4-yard pickup.
Goodson operating out of that Wildcat for the second time tonight. Had a 10-yard touchdown run earlier in the game.
2nd down and 6. Jamarian Ficklin waiting for the play call from the sideline as he backpedals. He'll hustle in and call the action.
But take your time, too. Not in a big, huge hurry now.
15 seconds left on the play count.
8 minutes to play in the game.
21-10 Ruffers trying to move on to the state semifinals. Ficklin with the running back to his right. Takes the snap. Pull, calls his own number. Cuts past the tackle to the 35. Bird to the 40. Out and across and shoved out of bounds.
Whoa,
and then into the benches. And there comes penalty flags. Ruffers will run over and protect their quarterback.
That could have been. He went over that bench on the far side.
And what you're hoping is nothing more happens out of this one. But Ficklin was he was well out of bounds, Nick, and then took a mighty shove from behind and was pushed into the wall in the water.
And he comes out fine. That'll cost the Wildcats another 15.
The gain by Bird goes to the 46. So the pickup would be 13 for the first down.
That's what's been missing tonight from the Ruffer offense is Ficklin pulling that ball and running it some.
Our referee tonight, Andy Turner, will describe the infraction.
After the corner, straight ball, late hit on the defense. 15-yard penalty for the run. That'll be first down by way.
So the Ruffers, who on the previous play had used the sophomore, Goodson, on the carry, Kenyon Goodson, come right back with a running play by Jamarian Ficklin for 13, plus 15 on the personal foul hit out of bounds. Gain had gone from the 46 to the 46. They walked 15 yards off Nick there. I think they must have marked it at the 45. Now the referees have called in the two captains, perhaps hoping to just keep things in a little bit more calm situation.
Braden Henry there talking with the officials. He'll go back and relay to the team whatever was said there.
It was Hudson Haas, the defensive end, as the defensive captain for the Wildcats. So Muskogee will have it at the Pohai 40-yard line. Beasley out wide to the right along with McGee. Bring Andre in motion. They'll run the jet sweep to Beasley coming left. 40, 35, tripped up on a nice effort defensively. Coming in to make the stop was Jackson Goddard. But Beasley will again pick up good yardage going downfield from the 40 to the 34-yard line. 6 yards.
Nice block thrown in there by Wesley Harvey to kind of spring that along the line of scrimmage.
I can tell you, Nick, just looking at the body actions of both teams, things starting to get a little chippy because time is running out here tonight. 7:15 to go in the clock running. Ficklin with Johnson in the backfield. Hands it off to LJ. Coming left. Out of a tackle at the 34. Down inside the 30 to the 29 goes Latavian Johnson. That's a 5-yard pickup. It's one more than what was needed to move the chains for a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer. First down and 10.
And now that Ficklin has run a couple of times, that's kind of loosen that Ponca City offense up, so when Latavian gets the ball, they got to kind of respect whether he's got it or whether Ficklin's got it.
4 plays plus the penalty. Ruffers have moved it from their own 29 to the Ponca City 29. Snap goes, handoff to Johnson, coming left, big hole, 25, outside at the 20, to the edge at the 15, and then shoved out of bounds at around the 14-yard line, making the stop.
E.J. James down there doing some good blocking downfield to really help spring that loose for a few more yards.
P.J. Garcia making the stop for Ponca City, but not before Johnson takes it to the 13-yard line. 16-yard pickup. Ruffer first down and 10. Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Ruffer first down.
47 yards rushing tonight now for Latavian Johnson.
This will be the 6th play in this series. Remember the Ruffers, Nick, didn't have much offense in that third quarter.
Didn't have many plays in that third quarter.
That's exactly right. But now with 6:40 and counting, leading 21-10, Ficklin's going to give it right back to Johnson. Starts right, gets left at the 10, to the 5. He will walk in for the 6 points. Honk that horn. Keep it loud. Keep it proud. Flash the green and white lights. Ruffers are taking another step toward moving to the semifinals with a score from Latavian Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
71-yard drive. The Ruffers do it very nicely. Move it right down the field. That's the offense that we expected to see tonight. Didn't see it much in the first half, but they've really come out here in this fourth quarter now.
27-10 as Val Espinosa will try to make it 4 for 4 on the night. Ball's down on the extra point try. The chip shot is through the uprights. Good, just like Justin Barkley would have done it in his high school days. The Ruffers tonight here have made it a 28-10 advantage with 2 scores here in the fourth. We're back for the final 6:34 tonight from Ruffer Village after this 30-second timeout on Ruffer Football 2023.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Back at Ruffer Village, Muskogee 6 minutes 34 seconds away from a dance in the semifinals in the chase for the gold ball of 6A2 football here in 2023. Ruffers up 28-10.
We might mention, too, probably Sunday we will know where the Ruffers are going to play and when the SSA makes that decision.
High pooch kick. Cunningham will field it at the 26. He'll go to his left, trying to find a wall of blockers. Cuts inside at the hash across the 25, the 35, and now across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Ruffers, for the most part tonight, Nick, have defended very well against the tall and speedy and sure-handed Gavin Cunningham.
Cunningham's done more probably returning kicks tonight than he has receiving pass catches.
So now the Ruffers, who got the INT from Tim Moore to give them field possession at their own 29-yard line and the resulting score, have put Ponca City into kind of a hurry-up type offense, more to a passing style. Trips come wide to the right, Moore back in the pocket. Going to throw the out route to Cunningham at the 45 in Ruffer territory. Caught from behind and then knocked to the turf. Jaden Swanson grabbed hold. Coda Barnowski came over with help from Dion Bowler. The pass play will go downfield to the 35-yard line in Ruffer territory.
Busted play there by the Ruffer defense.
And Cunningham was a little slow in getting up.
As Cunningham was open between White and Swanson back there, somebody didn't get over quickly enough.
24 yards on the pass play for the first down. 6:16 to play here in the game. Ruffers in front, 28-10. Let's pause 30 seconds and return to Ruffer Village after this timeout on Ruffer Football in 2023.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Gavin Cunningham was the receiver on that preceding play, and he got kind of sandwiched between 3 Ruffer defenders. He's able to walk off with some assistance.
Kind of got his bell rung. It looks like maybe a little bit there.
Stillwater still up on top of Putnam City, 42-0. Deer Creek leading Bartlesville 35-7. That game now in the fourth. Choctaw leading Sand Springs 29-15. First and 10, Wildcats. Moore in the pocket. Throws the out route. Caught in space and tackled immediately. Cooper Rich with the reception quickly for the Ruffers there to make the stop was Anthony White, the junior strong safety.
Came up real quickly and kept that to just about a 3-yard gain is all.
To the 32-yard line on the catch. Wildcats now got to be in a hurry. They're down by 3 scores. Moore back in the pocket. Swing route out in space. Ruffers had a shot, and they'll finish it. Anthony Watson had a chance to get right at Big Goose, but then he got some help from one of his teammates, Tion Moore. We see Anthony grabbing the forearm, the bicep muscle, as he comes off the field. Leo Kraski and the training staff will take a quick look at the Ruffer defensive end. You hope that's just a stinger, Nick, nothing too serious. No, a loss of 3 on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and 10 for Ponca City. Clock showing 5:25 as the seconds begin to tick away. Moore back in the pocket with protection. Throws down the middle. It's overthrown. Was trying to go to Cooper Rich. Deion Bowler was about the closest rougher defender there, but that pass was a little bit too long and too tall, and you know they would like to have had Gavin Cunningham to go to in that situation.
I think if Bowler had looked around a little quicker, he might have been able to get in position to pick that one off. It just kind of went right over his head before he could get really turned and locate the football.
So now with 5:16 to go in the game, Nick, it comes down to this play for Ponca City on another 4th down situation. 4th and 10 at the rougher 35. Ridge, Landis, and Runnels will be to the left. Harjo is to the boundary right side. Ruffers give chase, throw it down the middle. This one's up for grabs and incomplete, and it'll be Ruffer football. Ruffers felt like if they could force Tay Moore to have to pass, they could control the game. And Nick, as the game has waned on and the Ruffers got that 2-score advantage back, that's been pretty much the case.
Well, I think back in this game, and the Ruffers had the lead, got the lead back in the 4th quarter, but to me the big play was Tim Moore's interception because the Wildcats were driving to get within maybe 7 or get within 3 or 4 points there. And Moore's interception really turned things around for the Ruffers.
Now 5:08 left to play. Ruffers have the football at their own 35-yard line. Beasley, counter handoff inside to Johnson, darting back to his left 40, tries to wait on the block, got 145, out across midfield and into Ruffer territory. Johnson stuck his foot in the ground and then got a nice block on the edge from E.J. James. That allowed him to get some extra yardage across midfield to the 49. That's a 16-yard pickup, good enough for a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer first down.
11 carries, 76 yards tonight for Latavian Johnson.
Had the 13-yard rumble for the score here in the 4th.
He's kind of punched his ticket for the Buffalo Wild Wing player.
He and Tim Moore as well. Now there's another player down for Ponca City, and while there's an injury on the field, we'll take the timeout. 4:59 to go tonight here from Ruffer Village. Keep your fingers crossed and hold your breath. Ruffers can dance next week on Thanksgiving and practice on Thanksgiving Day, leading 28-10. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football in 2023.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee Trusts, Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Football at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Ruffers. Clock showing Ruffers in front by 28-10 score. Handoff to Deion Bowler. Got a block, kind of excuse me type block that time from the big fella up front, Wes Harvey. That's all Deion Bowler needs to find his way through a crease. Inside the 40 to the 37, a 12-yard gallop, and a Ruffer Kyle Edwards Buick GMC, first down and 10.
Bowler tonight, 34 yards rushing on kind of limited actions, just 5 carries he's had.
So Jamie Beasley will come out. And then for the Ruffers will be, I think that's Dylan Wood here on the near side. No, that's Swanson, excuse me. He'll go in motion. They'll hand the ball off, going to the right. 35, blocker in front is Bowler at the 25. And inside the 25 down to the 20-yard line.
Swanson.
Goes Jaden Swanson. From the 37 to the 19. 18 yards. Another Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. First down at 10.
One of the few times we've seen Swanson carry on that jet sweep around, that's usually Beasley's deal.
Swanson will come out. Jamie Beasley will come back in. Ruffers just content to run the football. Caden McGee, Andre Beasley will be to the boundary short right. Jamie Beasley by himself to the left. And as the play clock counts down and the snap for Ruffers here are going to cut call for illegal procedure.
Moves it back to the 24, and for the Ruffers, that's the 7th penalty of the night for 49 yards.
3 minutes and 58 seconds left. Don't forget, with the win, Ruffers will advance. They'll play next Friday and a site to be determined either tomorrow or on Sunday. We'll make it official. You can follow that. I'm sure it'll be released on MuskogeeAthletics.org, either through Facebook, Twitter, or on the website itself. Nick, you'll be on top of that, right?
I will.
All right, the 24-yard line, 1st and 10 Ruffers. Beasley and McGee to the boundary right. Ficklen's going to hand it off. Ruffers going to bring it to the outside edge. 20, 15. Deion Bowler stiff arms the tackler and runs his way inside the 11 to the 10 and then got hit from behind out of bounds.
And a flag down for a late hit.
That's going to be a late hit. Bowler took it to the 9-yard line for a 15-yard run. 1st and goal at the 9, plus now what will be another personal foul against Ponca City, I think.
Yeah, it was a definite late hit.
Officials talking about it. 3:27 to go. Now, Nick, you get a little overexcited, especially if you're Muskogee, knowing you're this close to a championship advance to the semifinals.
The line of the game was received on the play. After the play, dead ball, late hit on Muskogee. We'll go 15 yards back from the dead ball.
That's on the Ruffers. Wow, okay.
Wow, I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
It looked like Bowler was the one that got hammered out of bounds.
Well, I thought too.
But the game will be to the 9. That's the first down. But then now they'll back it up. And it'll be 1st and 15. I'm not sure of this. If you reach the line to gain, that would be first down. That's a dead ball foul.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So you would put your chains at the 9.
Should be 1st and goal for the Ruffers.
Yeah,
right?
from back at the 24.
Right.
Officials just tell them take the stick. Well, now wait a minute, Nick.
Now they're going to.
I don't know about this one.
So now they mark the chain, so it's 1st and 10 for the Ruffers at the 24. Okay.
If I'm Justin Rowland, I'm not sure I agree. But nevertheless, we'll take it. 3:27 to play here tonight from Ruffer Village. McGee and Andre Beasley will go to the right. Jamie Beasley will be by him lonesome to the left boundary. Tavian Johnson, the running back. Jamie's going to come in motion. Ficklen's going to counter. Stand in the pocket with time to throw. Looks on the wheel route. Trying to go back to Johnson on the side. It's tipped up and away and incomplete. Trying to go back to Jamie Beasley on the wheel route. Good coverage in the back end. Good coverage that time by Luke Beyer-Grossline.
7 of 13 passing for Bird tonight, just 68 yards through the air.
One of his lowest productive efforts of the year, Nick. Bird came in needing 105 yards to go over 8,000 yards in his career. Ficklen handing off to Johnson, had a wall open up in front of him, 20, 15, 10, smelling the end zone. High step your way in for your 3rd touchdown run of the night. Latavian Johnson from the 29, touchdown Ruffers. I think that was in the 24.
24, yeah.
24-yard touchdown run for Latavian Johnson, his 3rd trip to across the goal line. And the Ruffers can punch their ticket to next week's state semifinals.
And an even 100 yards on the ground tonight for Latavian Johnson.
And Val Espinosa will try to stay true, 5 for 5. The ball down. It's a fake as the ball was fumbled, and as he picked it up with his knee on the turf, Dylan Wood, the whistle blows, and it'll stay 34-10. But with 3:11 to go, the Ruffers are that far separated from a return trip to the state semifinals. One step shy of their ultimate destination, Edmond, Oklahoma. 34-10, Muskogee back with more action from Ruffer Village in 30 seconds. You're watching Ruffer Football 2023.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Back at Ruffer Village after the misfire on the PAT, the score remains 34-10 Ruffers with 3 minutes 11 seconds left. And just looking at the scoreboard, Deer Creek appears to be the opponent for the Roughers next week, as the Antlers at home tonight, now in the fourth, leading Bartlesville 35-7.
4A scores. Wagner's increased their lead now 30-0 over Tuttle, and that's a final score.
What was the score?
30-0 Wagner.
Wow.
They broke it open in the fourth quarter, yeah.
So now Espinosa will walk up and replace the tee. They did make that presentation in the north end zone to Caden McGee. Again, congratulations to the ever-smiling big play Caden McGee for his 1,000-yard club entry. Wildcats, Gavin Cunningham back on the field, taking this kick return, trying to come around the left side. And
block in the back.
Far, and then there's flags down again on the play.
That's a block in the back against the Wildcats.
3:01 to play. Deer Creek leading Bartlesville 35-7. The last score we had from Stillwater, the Pioneers comfortably in front 42-0. That was at halftime. Sand Springs and Choctaw going back and forth with the Yellow Jackets holding on to a 2-score advantage, 29-15.
In 4A, the other 4A scores around tonight. Poto over Newcastle. That's the final, 28-18. Blanchard ahead of Salisaw, 34-14 in the third. And Ada's increased their lead 21-9 now over Clinton. So the Wildcats will start from their own 13 this time.
And have to go in a hurry because they're down by 3 scores with 3 2-point extra conversions. Taymor takes it, throws the quick out route, caught at the 15, and fighting for some extra yardage and getting up to about the 19-yard line on the pass catch. That'll be a 6-yard pickup.
Game 6, be
Second and 4, but each and every snap now becoming more and more hurry up for the Wildcats, who gave the Roughers, Nick, a stern test here tonight. Moore's going to throw it in space, throws it behind, unable to hold on to it.
Went right through his hands. That was Runnels.
Cole Runnels, a 5'11", 175-pound senior, the targeted receiver, incomplete. Stops the clock with 2:28 to play. After a 2-8 beginning in his first year as head coach, think about this, Nick. Travis Hill has totally reversed the win-loss record. With tonight's victory, he will be 21-12. That's after losing 8 in his first season. Not a bad turnaround.
That's exactly right.
19 and
this will be his 22nd win tonight. This one.
Back in the pocket is Moore with some time, being flush, rolls to his right, looking to run or throw, slings it upfield, intended for the receiver, Gavin Cunningham. With the pass behind and incomplete, it'll be 4th down in ball game.
Playing catch-up is not Ponca's game, as we've seen tonight. Theirs is what we saw in the second and third quarter, where they just grind out long series of downs and eat up the clock. So this is not their game, playing catch-up.
So Cunningham on a 4th down and 6 will be back to punt. If I'm the Roughers, I don't even try to field this one. Cunningham will take it. He'll kick it away. Bowler will backpedal, catch it at the 40, trying to find blockers with a nice shake and bake move across midfield into Ponca territory, then bumped out of bounds at the 44-yard line in Pohai territory. That little jitterbug move, that little step left, go right in a hurry. Bowler kind of got the oohs and the ahs in the crowd down below.
He hasn't had too many chances to return kicks, and so he got one there and made the most of it with a nice return of, where are they going to spot it, about 15 yards.
45-yard line.
About a 15-yard return by Bowler.
So now we'll see what the Roughers will dial up offensively, leading comfortably by 24 with 2:08 to go. Roughers bring on Kenyon Goodson at quarterback. That's Peyton Lang.
Peyton Lang, yeah.
Lang, the young freshman and the understudy of Jamarian Ficklin on the handoff to Marquise Chaplin. He'll get 3 yards on the 1st down carry to the 42. Good to see some of these young faces getting some playing time here tonight. It'll be smiles in the Rougher locker room, but not all total satisfaction, Nick, because Muskogee with some errors of their own Going to have to polish up next week before taking on the Antlers of Deer Creek.
First half was just a little rugged for the Rougher offense.
So now Muskogee on a 2nd and 6 with the freshman quarterback Peyton Lang taking the snap. He'll give it off to Chaplin, darting to his right. Keeps his balance, stumbles downfield inside the 40, inside the 35. Needed to go to the 35 for the first down. He got to the 33. Good enough for a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. First down at 10 on the 9-yard run by Marquise Chaplin.
So Chaplin, 2 carries now, 12 yards and a first down.
And when this play is snapped, we'll be under a minute to play here tonight on the final game of the year at home for the Muskogee Roughers. And for a outstanding group of young men, the seniors of 2023, their last chance to play in front of the home crowd. Trips will come out wide to the left, but if this is anything but a running play, Nick, I think I need to call the next snap. Chaplin's going to take it. He'll be met at about the line of scrimmage and shoved back. And the game clock will be at 40 seconds. There'll be about a second differential between game clock and play clock. Roughers find a way. And in the playoffs, Nick, that's all you have to do.
Yeah, the little short passing game wasn't working in the first half, so the Roughers retooled things at halftime and came out, made the adjustments, and, as you say, found the way here in the second half.
Peyton Lane, the freshman quarterback, can take the snap, touch his knee to the turf, and this one will be in the record books. And I'm just going to go back and show you I can count with fingers and toes. 2 plus 10, now 9. That makes 21. Handoff going to Chaplin, coming to his left, has good yardage. The play clock hits triple zeros, and for the 9th time in the 2023 season, the Muskogee Roughers have won. They will advance into the semifinals, winning this matchup, the 22nd meeting between the two teams altogether. Muskogee has now won 11 of the last 12, 14-7-1, and have remained undefeated against Ponca City all time in the playoffs. This one tonight, 34-10. Rougher football from Rougher Village continues. Back with our postgame and our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. That after this 3-minute timeout of Rougher football in 2023.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Proud to be a Muskogee Rougher, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to hondamuskogee.com.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick. Wow! New Silverados, 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverados, 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Back at Ruffer Village tonight, Muskogee, who jumps to a 14-3 halftime lead, seemingly losing the momentum after Ponca City had cut the margin to 14-10. The Ruffers go on a 76-yard drive, needing just over 2 minutes to expand the margin to 21-10. Then perhaps the game-changing moment, Tim Moore's pass interception gave the Ruffers back the football when Ponca City was in Ruffer territory. The Ruffers respond offensively, 6-play, 71-yard drive. Latavian Johnson on his second of what would be 3 trips to the end zone to make it 28-10. And then on the next series, after the Ruffers took over with 5 minutes left, it's another 65-yard drive, and Johnson going to final 24 for the score to make it 34-10. Tonight, Nick, in the second half, it was the ground game, not the aerial attack, that propelled the Ruffers into the state semifinals again.
Well, if you remember at halftime, the Ruffers had 11 rushes for just 70 yards in the game. They finished 31 rushes for 259 yards. So the ground game was it for the Ruffers tonight. 7 of 13 passing, not a great night for the Bird. Just 68 yards. So Muskogee with 327 yards in total offense. 7 penalties in the game against the Ruffers for 49 yards. Andre Beasley, the leading rusher, 12 carries for an even 100 yards tonight. Caden McGee, 3 catches for 38, getting him to the 1,000-yard mark for the season. And he was the leading receiver. For Ponca City tonight, they rushed the ball 28 times for 60 yards. They passed tonight, though, much better. 18 of 27 passing for Trey Moore, 162 yards passing. So 222 yards in offense for Ponca City, which is just pretty close to what their average is for the season. They had 1 fumble lost, and they had 6 penalties in the game for 45 yards. Big Goose was the leading ground gainer, 9 carries for 25 yards, and Cunningham ended up being the leading receiver for the Wildcats, 5 catches for 58 yards tonight.
Well, certainly it was a turnabout after the Ruffers got the pass interception from Tim Moore. Nick, you called it at that point the turnaround play of the night, and it was indeed the big moment for the Ruffers because it was still anybody's ball game. Had Ponca City converted there, I mean, it's 14-10. If the Wildcats score, even if it's a field goal, it's a 1-point ball game, and if a touchdown, they take the lead. But Moore's interception and then the ensuing possession by the offense that went for the go-ahead score, from that time on, Muskogee pretty much had things going their way.
They did, and a lot of interesting people that we could talk about tonight for our Wild Wings player of the game. I guess we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But the Ruffers, for the second year in a row now, off to the semifinals. Somewhere, more than likely, I'm going to guess, in the metropolitan Oklahoma City area sometime next Friday. It could be either.
A lot of different options, having talked to the OSSAA office myself earlier this week as part just listening in on a conference call. The OSSAA faced with having to find 24 locations this upcoming weekend for semifinal matchups. I mean, you got 6A, 1, 2, 5A, 4A, 3A, and Class C all playing on Thanksgiving weekend state semifinal matchups, and those requiring the neutral field situations. Where it will be, Travis Hills says, I really don't care. I mean, all I want to do is have my team in the state semifinals, and I think the coaching staff at Deer Creek would agree. You could play it in the middle of I-40 or I-35 or the Turner Turnpike. It doesn't matter. It's for a chance to play for the big gold ball. Deer Creek will be the opponent for the Ruffers as the Antlers tonight in Bartlesville season by the final count of 35-10. Speaking of finals, there's a group of seniors out on the field all getting the pictures taken by the crowd down there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of selfies taken with the cell phones that have seemingly popped out of nowhere. And a good group of young men there, Nick. But tonight, Muskogee gets the hard-fought victory by the final score of 34-10.
Shall we run through the playoff game scores tonight and then come back with Wild Wings player of the game?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll start off in 6A1 tonight. Pretty much everyone favored is winning or has won. Bixby over Norman tonight, 59-20, that game in the fourth quarter. Owasso in the third quarter easily over Norman North, 36-7. Union, after being in a tight game, has opened their score up now against Westmore, 35-7. And Jenks in the fourth quarter leading Edmond Santa Fe, 24-10.
In 6A2, we mentioned Deer Creek beating Bartlesville, 35-7. In the fourth, Choctaw leading Sand Springs now 38-15. The last score from Stillwater was a halftime score, but the Pioneers comfortably in front, 42-0. So it looks like the semifinal 6A2 will match up Choctaw and Stillwater, last year's state finals matchup, in a semifinal reenactment, while the Ruffers will go against the Antlers of Deer Creek next weekend for a chance to play for the gold ball on what I believe is Friday, December the 1st would be the scheduled date for that game. But you just stay with us. We'll keep you up to date as we go forward. But some more scores from the playoff picture.
In Class 5A tonight, Del City knocks off Guthrie 47-14. That game a little more of a spread than I thought it might be.
Oh, much bigger spread.
And Bishop McGinnis over Bishop Kelly. That's a final tonight, 28-14. Maybe a mild surprise here. Claremore, who we got to see earlier in the season play Hilldale, knocks off Elgin 7-6.
Wow.
In a defensive battle, Carl Albert, who I still got to think is going to run away with the 5A title, all over Collinsville tonight, 52-14.
4A scores. The semifinal matchups are set there. Top-ranked Poto will advance. They defeat Newcastle 28-18. They will meet Blanchard in the semifinals next week. The Lions in front of Sallisaw 48-21. So the dream season for the Black Diamonds coming to a close tonight. It's not finished, as the last score we had was in the third, but a 27-point deficit is pretty hard to overcome. And in a matchup of the two of the most tradition-rich programs in Oklahoma, where there were a combined 36 state championships owned by the two teams, the Ada Cougars go to the Tornado Bowl and have a 21-9 advantage now in the fourth over the Clinton Red Tornadoes. With that win, that would mean it would be Wagner and Ada playing in the state semifinals next week. And Nick Hampton, we have a matchup of two of the East Side powers, Poto and Wagner, number 1 against number 2 for the 4A gold ball.
Boy, would you like Poto, I'm sure, will be licking their chops to get another shot at Wagner in the playoffs. So, yeah, that would be a big game. In Class 3A tonight, Heritage Hall knocks off Berry Hill 49-0. Marlowe Downs is ahead of Cassia Hall 45-7 in the fourth quarter. Perkins Tryon smashing Holland Hall 65-0. That game in the fourth. And Lincoln Christian, top ranked in 3A, an easy time over Sulphur tonight, 45-7.
2A scores victory. Christian in the fourth, leading Rafe Watkins Preg Red Devils 52-39. Kiefer has ended the dream season for Sequoia Tahlequah as the Trojans win it 64-28. Alva has come from behind to beat Kingston 28-23. Man, that's a long drive. Alva to Kingston. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Idabel at home has recovered. They're still undefeated on the year and are looking to go on into the playoffs. They lead Kansas now in the fourth. Little Kansas 42-28. Washington, last year's state champion and the prohibitive favorite to repeat. They beat Meeker tonight 56-7. Vian Wolverines live to play again in the fourth with a 45-20 advantage over Adair. Jones defeats Davis 30-26. Millwood ousting my alma mater Purcell Dragons 38-14.
And in Class A tonight, in overtime, Hooker has defeated Minco 21-20. Dibble is ahead of Walters 32-26. That game late in the fourth quarter.
Breaking news in overtime. Yes. Central Sallisaw has come from behind. They have defeated Pawnee 36-28. Congratulations, Jeremy Thompson's Tigers of Central Sallisaw with a win.
And otherwise, let's see, Boone Apache knocks off Stratford 48-13. Top-ranked Fairview decisions Crescent 19-7. Concord knocks off Woodland, or they're ahead of Woodland late in that game, 24-22. Gore has their season come to an end tonight, or is. It's not quite over yet. 54-6 against Stroud. They're on the losing end of that. Brandon Ellis has done a good job down there, though, after losing a lot of talent last year from graduation. And Hominy defeats Wyandotte 49-7.
Class B 8-man football. Boy, what a game this one is between number 2 Dewar and Regent Prep. Dewar Dragons have come back to take a 48-43 lead. That's in the fourth, but that's a long way from done. Walika races past Weber's Falls 64-18. Sealing undefeated on the season and the prohibitive favorite to win it all in Class B. Sealing beating Turpin tonight 56-6. Yale over Keota 44-22. That's in the fourth. Oklahoma Bible ousting Southwest Covenant 44-26. That's in the fourth. Also in the fourth, a tight one, O'Keene and Laverne. The Whippets trying to defeat Laverne. They lead at 38-36. Drumright eliminating Caddo 46-40. Valma Alma, the Comets over Garber 56-32.
And in Class C, 8-man football, it is Ryan leading Wilson Henrietta 56-36 in the fourth quarter. Timberlake on top of Coyle 32-20 in the fourth quarter. Winoka and Thackerville all knotted up at 42 in the third quarter. Tipton, top ranked in the class, easily decisioning Graham Dustin tonight 56-6.
The only decision to make is who will be our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. We'll do that after this 30-second timeout. Ruffers win. They move to the semifinals, 34-10 over Ponca City. We're back to name our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game after this 30-second timeout on Ruffer Football in 2023.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Back at Ruffer Village, the victory is in the record books. Ruffers advancing to 9-2 on the season with the 34-10 victory. They will play in the state semifinals at a site and a time to be determined later against the Antlers of Deer Creek High School. Nick, but before we get out of here tonight, it's time to do our final duties, and that's to name our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. And although statistically it's not one of the better nights for Muskogee's offense, I think there are several candidates, both offensively and defensively, that we could put up for this award.
There are, but, in my mind, it really comes down to two guys. We talked about the big play by Timmy Moore on the interception, and then at the other end on the offense, Latavian Johnson had a great night tonight. 12 carries for an even 100 yards. 3 touchdowns he had tonight?
3 touchdowns, including the capper. Actually, he had 2 in the second, those last 2 in the second half.
Yeah, so he had a good night. Those are the two guys that I'm casting my vote for at this point in time.
Well, it's the final game here at Ruffer Village. Why don't we do a double dip? No, we're not talking about a Brahms ice cream cone, Nick. You can get that after we get off the air. But let's go double the money. And let's pick our Buffalo Wild Wing players of the game. Latavian Johnson, the running back for the Ruffers, who came into tonight's ball game with just 11 touchdowns on the season. He now owns 14 with an even 100-yard effort. And then for his defensive efforts tonight and perhaps the game-changing moment, Timmy Moore, the junior weak side linebacker, who had that big interception that kind of turned the momentum there in the third quarter as the Ruffers score on their next 3 possessions and get out of Ruffer Village with the win. You with that?
That's it. I like it.
I think even everybody here in the booth would say, Chop, that's good enough for us because it's time to go home. And we'll see you next Friday night at a site to be determined. You can follow Muskogee Athletics on Twitter as well as on Facebook as well as on the athletic website at MuskogeeAthletics.org. We'll give you the results as soon as we know them, but we do know one thing. There will be football practice on Thanksgiving Day here at Ruffer Village, 8 o'clock Thursday morning. Bring out the treats, celebrate with the guys, and more importantly, be in the stands next Friday night where Muskogee will take on Deer Creek. For Nick Hampton and for all of our Ruffer TV crew tonight from Ruffer Village, it's another great day to be a Ruffer, especially when the Ruffers win 34-10 and the chance to dance in the semifinals 1 week from tonight. Good night, everybody. I'm Bill Ellison saying so long. We'll see you next week.